following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Force. We are Wisconsin.
Well, the Arizona portion of spring training is almost up. It's a beautiful Tuesday in Phoenix, and we are just about set for baseball today. The Cincinnati Reds and the Milwaukee Brewers, little division rivals matching up in the Cactus League. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Arizona. Great to have you with us. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. And today we're going to get a look at Willie Peralta. The Brewers' opening day starter will be on the mound. And we're also going to get to see Ryan Braun. And I feel like Ryan Braun in spring training is like viewing the spotted owl. He's rarely in there.
Yeah, he's only had 7 at-bats, but you know what? He's 4 for 7. He's got a couple of walks. He said he doesn't need a whole lot of spring training, and he has certainly proved it. Off-season back surgery. He came along a little bit slow. Didn't play for the first couple of weeks, but don't worry, Ryan Braun is going to be just fine in that opening day lineup. He's back in there today, and certainly the Brewers are going to have to keep an eye on that back. It's not going to be one of those things going to keep him out a long time. He says he's feeling good. He's in there today. Good to see him in there.
Franchise leader in home runs, Ryan Braun in the lineup, and the big boy, Willie Peralta, on the mound today to match up against the Cincinnati Reds. We're looking forward to it. We got spring training baseball from the Cactus League. Lineups in the first pitch coming up next. Maryvale Baseball Park, Phoenix, Arizona. 51st and Indian School if you're in the neighborhood and you'd like to drop by. We're ready for baseball, the Reds and the Brewers. You see Brian Price, skipper of the Cincinnati Reds. And these two teams actually played last night at the Reds spring training home over in Goodyear. And here's the Potawatomi batting order for Cincinnati. Jose Peraza will lead off. Ivan DeJesus Jr., who will be their second baseman and utility infielder, he'll bat second. Eugenio Suarez at third. Middle of the order is Jay Bruce, right field. Adam Duvall will be in left. Scott Schebler in center. And the bottom three for Price is Jordan Pacheco, Tucker Barnhart, the backup catcher for the Reds this season, and A.J. Morris will be on the mound for Cincinnati up from minor league camp. And for Craig Counsell's Milwaukee Brewers, running out of spots on the Major League roster. That's been the big news thus far today. And 2 more guys were told they were going to be added to the Major League roster today. That's Colin Walsh, who's going to lead off today, Rock. And Yadiel Rivera is going to make the team as well. And good for both of those guys. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, no real surprise. I mean, Yadiel Rivera did everything he had to do to make this ball club, and certainly has been impressive. Can play anywhere in the infield, swinging it back. Colin Walsh, a Rule 5 guy, so if he didn't stick, you know, the Brewers risked losing him, you know, back to the Oakland A's. But, you know, the roster's starting to take shape. only a couple of spots available. That's going to come down to the last couple of days of spring training, either in Houston or Biloxi. So, you know, things are starting to round out. By the way, good to have you back. What have you been doing all this time?
I've been away, and I apologize for that. I've just been chilling out, hanging out, watching a few basketball games, but I'm excited to be back in the spring training sun as the Brewers hit the field, and a lot of the regulars in the lineup, a lot of the same names and faces you'll see in the opening day lineup come April 4th. Next Monday, we are gaining fast on opening day, and Willie Peralta, speaking of opening day, will be on the mound against the San Francisco Giants and Madison Bumgarner. And those numbers aside, Rock, the 7.88 ERA is not pretty. However, his last start against the Royals, probably his most impressive, and we're probably expecting Peralta to try to get near 100 pitches today, I would imagine.
Yeah, he threw 78 pitches against Kansas City. That was right here at Maryville, and Ned Yost brought his A-team over to Maryville in that game. 6 innings, 1 run, gave up only 4 hits. It was the Willie Peralta that we remembered from a couple of years ago. Forget about that earned run average. I mean, that ERA responsible really for 1 outing against the Angels. He gave up 7 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings, but Willie's last time out, outstanding work. Now let's check out the Brewers as they line up defensively here this afternoon. You got Braun, he's back in the lineup. He's in left. Kean Broxton in center field. Alex Presley. A couple of guys that are fighting for those last 2 outfield spots. Aaron Hill, Jonathan VR, Colin Walsh, Chris Carter from third to first, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
Defense brought to you by Badger Mutual, and there is Ryan Braun, who figures he only needs a handful of at-bats, maybe around 20. He'll probably get to that number before it's all said and done. The Brewers have one more game in Arizona tomorrow. That'll be a webcast if you want to check us out on Brewers.com. And then the Brewers break camp. They'll head to Houston. 2 games against the Astros in an exhibition series at Minute Maid Park. And then another game on Saturday in Biloxi against the AA team. And the Brewers will take Sunday off, and then it's time to do it for real on Monday. So still a few games remaining on the exhibition schedule. The Brewers come in with a record of 12-12-2. Cincinnati at 13-15-1. Yes, there are ties in spring training baseball. All the pieces in place. We're ready to play ball this afternoon. Corey Blazer will call the balls and strikes. And Peralta's first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go. Reds leadoff hitter Jose Peraza, who's getting the start at shortstop today. And a little tapper, tough play coming in is Walsh, and no chance to get the speedy Peraza. And that'll be an infield hit to get the day started for us today.
Yeah, pretty good pitch from Willie his last time out. You know, we talked about it. He had good life on his fastball, that good 2-seam fastball, get into some hands against the Kansas City Royals. A good pitch there, but Peraza able to get a piece of it and ends up getting a base hit.
This is the third of 3 games against Cincinnati this spring. The Brewers are looking for their first win, if you're keeping track of spring training victories, and I know you are. So the final meeting with the Reds as Peralta deals strike 1 to Ivan DeJesus Jr.
Yeah, the first 2 games against Cincinnati, high scoring events, 7-6, and last night 9-8. So a lot of runs being scored in the first 2 games in this series against Cincinnati.
Had significant winds blowing last night over at Goodyear, which is a little further west. Runner takes off, throw down the second, right on the money. Lucroy cuts down Peraza.
Yeah, he's throwing the baseball well. Lucroy's ready for the season. Swinging the bat, good quick feet, good delivery to second base. That was a good pitch to throw on, and look at this. Right on the money. VR drops the tag, and they get the out at second.
Wipes out the infield hit. Nicely done. 2-6 on the caught stealing for the first out of the game. Now you see Lucroy with his new mask. That is there's a little more cushion in that mask. The materials are supposed to help with potential concussions, and remember, it was a concussion that knocked Lucroy out toward the end of the season last year. Little jam shot by DeJesus. Chris Carter is there, and there is out number 2. The Brewers are going to have Peralta as their opening day starter. Jimmy Nelson will pitch in game 2 against the Giants, and then Matt Garza. So the first 3 in the first series of the year against San Francisco, Peralta, Nelson, and Garza will try to get the Brewers started on a good foot this season, all at Miller Park. We hope you'll make plans to be with us, not just for opening day, which is already or close to a sellout, if not already, but the rest of that homestand. It's going to be great to get the season started.
Yeah, I know the players are ready to start playing games for keeps. At this point in spring training, those guys that know they made the ball club, they're ready to get it going for real.
Hey, Eugenio Suarez with a sharp single up the middle. Second hit of the inning, but a base runner with 2 outs after the caught stealing.
I figure some renewed intensity for Willie Peralta. This is his last tune-up before opening day. You know he wants to finish on a high note, pitch like he did his last time out against the Royals. You never want to finish spring training and go into your first start, on a sour note. So you figure Willie's going to have that intensity as best as you can try and replicate it down here in Arizona.
Yeah, the pitchers will tell you, position players too, and I think at this point, position players are ready to get going. They're ready to get spring training in the rearview mirror as Jay Bruce shows bunt. Brewers put a big shift on from Bruce. He thought he'd try to bunt his way on. And strike 1.
Don't give him that every day. Don't let him do that as much as he wants. Big power hitter, Jay Bruce, still with the Reds.
Starting to feel like part of his full official name, Jay Bruce, still with the Reds.
Well, a lot of articles and a lot of the pundits talking about the 2 guys. You got Bruce and Luke Croy, 2 guys that everybody thought was going to be traded, have not.
Now Bruce on a couple of occasions was close to being dealt, according to reports. The Reds looked like they had Brandon Phillips dealt, but he had a no trade clause and he decided he wanted to stay in Cincinnati. That's Jim Riggleman sitting next to Brian Price, former big league manager. 2 outs in the first. We're just underway from Phoenix. Reds and Brewers spring training baseball. Man, is it great to be watching baseball again.
Oh, Jay. A little cloud cover, a little chilly this morning, but it's burned off for the most part.
Now there's some wind blowing all through the valley today. Last night the wind was howling in the 30-mile-an-hour range at times. Start getting winds that firm, you start moving into haboob territory, right, Rock?
Yeah, look out for the sandstorms, right? It's about the only problem you have down here.
Winds are blowing out to center field today. Bruce takes a ball.
They've not had a drop of rain this spring. They could use it. Let it rain on Friday, right?
Yeah, might as well get some games in.
Thursday, Friday, let it rain.
It's interesting. The temperatures were in the upper 50s this morning in Phoenix. Rare for this time of year as Bruce swings and fouls it away. It's actually been hot here in Arizona, especially the first couple of weeks. Temperatures were soaring into the 90s. Carlos Subero making some fans go home with a souvenir. A lot of folks from Wisconsin in the area today. Spring break through most of the public high schools and public schools in Wisconsin all week. So a good crowd here. Bruce to Walsh, and that'll do it. So Peralta gives up a couple of singles. There was a caught stealing, and we're off and running at Maryvale. The Brewers are coming up. Getting ready to start his first full season as the Brewers manager. After taking over for Ron Renneke last year, his first spring training is about to come to an end. And here's Council's Potawatomi batting order. Colin Walsh, Alex Presley, and Ryan Braun make up the top. Then it's Luke Roy, Chris Carter, and Aaron Hill. Bottom three, Keon Broxton, Jonathan Villar, and Willie Peralta. Pitchers batting for themselves at this point of spring training. And on the mound today for the Cincinnati Reds is A.J. Morris, wearing number 83, up from minor league camp for the Reds.
Yeah, has not made an appearance in the big leagues for Cincinnati this spring. Spent the year last year in AAA. And 44 appearances for Morris. 3 starts down in the minor leagues and a .244 earned run average.
And the first man up, Colin Walsh into right center, a base hit. Boy, he's got to be feeling great. Told this morning that he has made the major league team. He's a Rule 5 player, meaning if the Brewers didn't keep him in the big leagues, they were going to have to return him to the Oakland A's. And he's glad to be part of this. Glad to be going north for opening day.
Has a real good understanding of his strike zone, and he's worked very hard. You can play him anywhere, as you mentioned, and has a pretty good idea up there at the plate. He took a slider and hit it hard into right.
And he's a switch hitter, utility man, can play all over the infield. Here's Alex Presley. Presley is one of the players still battling for a major league position. Right now, according to Craig Counsell, and by the way, we're going to visit with Craig Counsell in the 3rd inning today. Make sure you stay tuned for that. He's going to put a headset on for us. But he did say they have 3 outfielders essentially battling for 2 spots. And Presley is one of those. Kirk Neuenhuis and another guy in the lineup today, Keon Broxton. So these are important at-bats, important games for guys like Alex Presley.
And Presley's had an impressive spring. He can play anywhere in that outfield, covers a lot of ground, as does Broxton. You got 2 left-handers and a right-handed hitter. Looking to get those last 2 outfield spots. Kirk Neuenhuis, the lefty.
Neuenhuis not in the starting lineup. Figures to get an at-bat or 2 today, however. Reimer Liriano was also a part of that mix, but hit in the face with a pitched ball, and it's going to be a little while for Liriano. But all reports are he is recovering and had some facial fractures. Tough break for him. Keon Broxton has been impressive.
That young man can play. I mean, no matter whether he's going to be able to be consistent enough at the plate, but he's outstanding out there in center field. He can run him down. He's got a great arm, good instincts.
Love talking to him as well. Had a little chat. He's one of those guys. I think the Andrew McCutchen influence has had a lot to do with the way he carries himself. But he says the right things. You can tell he's a great competitor. Walsh takes off. The pitch is low. Short hop throw. And Walsh is out. Good pick out at second base by DeJesus Jr. and a caught stealing. The Reds oblige.
Tucker Barnhart going to be the backup catcher in Cincinnati. Devin Mesoraco is back from injury. Not a real easy pitch to throw on. A good pick by DeJesus, and that's an easy out at second base.
Presley takes ball 4. So a man on with 1 out as we take a look at our Badger Mutual Cincinnati defense.
They got a few starters for the Cincinnati Reds in that lineup. Got Duval, Chevler, and Bruce. Jay Bruce will be out in right field. Suarez will make the ball club. Peraza. DeJesus on the club. Pacheco, he's proven to be pretty versatile, for the Cincinnati Reds. Question is he going to make it? And Tucker Barnhart, we already talked about him behind home plate.
Here's Ryan Braun. Always good to see Braun in a spring training lineup. Means he's feeling healthy enough to play a little bit. His playing time has been sporadic this spring.
But when he's been in there, pretty successful. 4 for 7, a couple of walks, 3 RBIs. I guess Bronny's at the point, why waste him down here, right?
Yeah, and said as much before the game. Talking to Ryan at the batting cage before, he said, I'm not feeling 100%, but then he added, I don't think I'm ever going to feel 100% again. Those days are over at this stage of his career, but he's good enough to go, and there's going to be some maintenance issues with the back and the thumb this year. Had surgery this offseason on his back, and he still takes the cryotherapy injection on the thumb just to try to deaden that nerve that has given him so much trouble throughout the course of the last few years. But Craig Counsell's very optimistic. So is Ryan Braun. That opening day will not be a problem. He's just trying to get his at-bats in, and I'd say Braun's most important part of the day is what he does with his outfield work and his batting practice work before the game.
And what you know, the athletic trainers do, Dan Wright and his staff, getting Brawny ready for action each and every day. It's going to be one of those seasons where Braun's going to have to take some time here and there just to stay strong.
There's a called strike 3. Braun watches it go by, and out number 2. First strikeout for A.J. Morris.
Trying to bust him inside and just barely catching the lower part of the strike zone. Pitch before that one that was called a ball looked even better than that last pitch. Corey Blazer, the home plate umpire.
So 2 men are out. Here is Lucroy. He's had a nice spring. Lucroy, a couple of homers, 7 runs batted in. He's hit for a high average as well, as that one gets away from Morris. A lot of breaking stuff from Morris in his first inning.
And starting hitters off with breaking pitches. Lucroy just the opposite of Ryan Braun. He feels as though he needs a lot of at-bats to get ready for spring for the regular season.
Now Lucroy started as the designated hitter on a number of the early games this spring. Martin Maldonado has done most of the catching. As a matter of fact, Maldonado has caught nearly 80 innings this spring, by far and away the most. And only Chris Carter and Jonathan Villar have played more innings than Maldonado. Lucroy is playing in his 10th game, at least his 10th start. And he's caught 45 innings thus far. That's about right from the legs, but he's getting his at-bats as a designated hitter.
All right, Maldonado, you mentioned him. I mean, he's been swinging a red-hot bat. Looks good at the plate. So both the Brewers catchers have been swinging at both of them in the mid-300s.
Maldonado has actually hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. And had a big night last night. Drove in some runs in that game against Cincinnati. Maldonado drove in 3 last night. Brewers lost that game 9-8. 2 outs, a runner at first. That is Presley, who reached on a walk. Lucroy on the ground, foul. 3-2 the count remains. It's our last spring training telecast, which is hard to believe. Feels like we just started, Rock.
Feels like you've only done a couple, huh?
I have only done a couple. Thanks to Craig Cashon for coming in to fill in, and you guys sounded great. I was watching every inning.
He filled in for you. He had to fill in for Matt LePay.
That's right. As Lucroy takes ball 4 and the second walk of the inning.
Hey, Matt was supposed to come down here, do a couple of games on TV. Actually was scheduled for a webcast, but you know, the Badgers interrupted that plan.
Yes, they did. Bronson Koenig disrupted those plans for sure.
Good for them. Badgers, great season.
I got to spend a little time with LePay out on the NCAA tournament schedule. We had a great time, and just a fantastic run for Wisconsin. Congratulations to Greg Gard and his crew. Greg Gard says he's coming to Miller Park and wants to come watch the Brew Crew. Got to get a first pitch arranged for the head coach of the Badgers. Here's Chris Carter.
Give him up,
strike 1.
Get him up to the booth and talk to him on air. Yeah, that was a good year. A lot of fun watching those guys.
The big bopper, Chris Carter, leads the Brewers in spring training home runs this year with 4. His first swing of the spring was a home run off Jake Peavy and the Giants.
First pitch he saw.
Reds failed to score in the first inning. Peralta did give up 2 infield hits, or 1 infield hit and then another single. There was a caught stealing in that inning. The Brewers have had a single and 2 walks in this inning. But a caught stealing has set it up with 2 on, 2 out for Carter, who's driven in 10 this spring. Stand on that outside corner.
Yeah. Fastball, slider, changeup for Morris. Doesn't throw hard.
A.J. Morris deals it, and Carter a little bit late fouls it away.
Yeah, to say he doesn't throw hard is all relative. I mean, if you're not throwing 95 plus, I guess you say he doesn't throw all that hard. 92 to 94 is pretty much average stuff for pitchers in the big leagues these days.
Two on, both walked, and a fastball strike. Put that one right down the heart. He fooled him. Carter got caught guessing, and down he goes. Couple of strikeouts for A.J. Morris. 1 in the books at Maryvale. No score, Reds Brewers from the Valley of the Sun. Hey, and a reminder, baseball is back. FS1 starts the season Thursday, April 7th. Prince Fielder and the Rangers taking on Mike Trout and the Angels. It's all on America's home for baseball all season long, FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Yeah, 2 teams that train here in Arizona, the Angels and the Rangers. Prince Fielder's been dealing with sleep apnea, very serious condition where he actually stops breathing when he sleeps, but by all accounts everything is going well with that. The treatment is going well. He's feeling good.
Yeah, he actually had to leave the ball club to get evaluated, and seems like things are going in the right direction for Prince.
Here we go to the second inning. Reds are coming up. Adam Duvall will lead off. Duvall's been impressive this spring for Cincinnati. Looks like he's won an opening day assignment on the big league roster as Willie Peralta deals strike 1.
Ball's really coming out of Willie's hand nicely right now. Last couple of times out. Nice and easy. Nice smooth delivery.
Yeah, we don't have our normal radar gun option for spring training games. They're still tweaking them up for opening day, you know. But you can tell Willie Peralta, he's bringing it low to mid 90s, I would imagine. Old baseball scouts will tell you, the hitter will tell you how hard he's throwing.
Right. Yeah. Point of contact, right? The guy's hitting it back in his zone a little bit. He's got good stuff, good balance on that back leg, and fires through. Looks like it's effortless for Willie. That right there, it's an example. A 2-1 pitch, and hitter just can't get the bat head out. That's exactly what you're talking about.
Late with the swing.
In a hitter's count.
Peralta in the first inning allowed 2 singles, 2 ground outs. One of those hits was an infield hit. And the 2-2 is in there. A called strike 3. Peralta, his first punch out is a backwards K on Adam Duvall.
Yeah, 4-seam fastball around the outside corner at the knees. Check it out. Actually inside corner. That's a good pitch.
Scott Schebler now to face Peralta, big lefty.
Yeah, the other way you can tell how Willie's feeling, he's working quickly. I mean, he's really there's no doubt in his mind about what he wants to throw. He stands right there in the mound, not walking around uncertain. And it certainly helps that Lucroy back there knows exactly what he wants to throw.
Now, when Peralta first came to the big leagues, Martin Maldonado was his personal catcher. Those two very good friends, very close, came up together in the minor leagues. And Peralta was just one of those guys, just a little unsettled at times, especially when things weren't going quite right. And at the time, Ron Renicky felt that the best combo was Maldonado catching Peralta. But I guess the best word for it, they slowly weaned him off a personal catcher.
Right.
And Peralta now, as he's developed, as he's matured, certainly no problems with Lucroy behind the plate or Maldonado. He's able to control the game more from the mound.
Slowed it down. He slowed it down quite a bit. And, you know, Maldonado helped him out quite a bit early on. But, you know, when things kind of get out of sync, Maldonado would throw the ball back to him harder than Willie threw it to Maldonado. So it was kind of that, you know, that unspoken communication between the two of them. But as you mentioned, you know, Willie has matured in many, many different ways. And certainly his rapport with Lucroy is one of them.
Yeah, I always felt like with Peralta and Maldonado, they were the best of friends, but you could tell Maldonado was the alpha dog in that relationship. There's a shot in the left, a base hit. That's a good piece of hitting by Schebler. Just went down and slapped it to the opposite field. So the third hit allowed by Peralta, all of them singles.
Yeah, Willie tried to get him to chase a couple of sliders. Schebler did not, and because of that, you know, laying off that breaking pitch, he ends up getting this pitch to hit out away from him, and he just kind of serves it out there in the left field, hits it hard.
So a man on here is Jordan Pacheco, former Colorado Rocky. He's a non-roster invitee for the Reds, but he's played well, and he's got a chance to make this team as a utility man. He's one of those rare guys that can play all over the infield, can even put him at shortstop, and he's going to do a good job. And he can catch.
Yeah.
And that's probably the rarest of all the birds, a guy who can play short and catch if he needed to.
And that's the only spot he hasn't played down here.
So if he makes the club, it allows you to have that emergency catcher. And what that means in a National League setting, if you're so inclined as a manager, that you could actually pinch hit with your second catcher, your backup catcher, because you know you'd have coverage there in case of an injury. It rarely comes up, but some managers just refuse to use their backup catcher. Big chopper over to third. Hills got it to second for one. The turn and a scoop by Carter. Nicely done. Double play as the Brewers go around the horn. 5-4-3. And a nice pick over at first base by the big man, Chris Carter. house, Rock, out there on the berm.
Yeah, you know, you still need the sunscreen, although they have cloud cover.
That's a good service warning there.
You got to make sure you have the sunscreen on. Okay, we got a promo. Hey, Vintage Brewer bobblehead is back, this time in the 1980s ball and glove uniform. On Sunday, April 10th, the Brewers take on the Astros. And all fans in attendance will get a Vintage Brewer bobblehead courtesy of Chevrolet. For tickets, go to brewers.com.
You're always looking out for us with the sunscreen.
Well, you know why? I'm predisposed to that skin stuff, you know.
Right.
So,
and a lot of surface area as well for the sun
and more and more forehead every year.
Over the back of Aaron Hill. How about this one? Duck.
And that was a fastball, and Tucker Barnhart getting out of the way himself.
Yikes. You don't want to see a fastball coming at your head anytime, especially in a spring training game. That's a breaking ball that misses. A.J. Morris on the mound for the Reds. Check this out from the hitter's perspective. Yikes.
How did he miss him?
How did he miss the bat?
I know. Helmet, bat.
And your first instinct is to always jump back when you see the ball coming at you like that.
Right. You kind of freeze, and your first move is back, but
usually walk right into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he was able to avoid contact with the baseball that time.
He's like the Matrix.
Right through him.
Hill's going to be the opening day third baseman for the Brewers.
He's had a difficult time at the plate. Got to get him going. Yeah, one of the few veterans in that starting infield for Milwaukee. There's the Brewers hitting coach back for his second year, Darnell Coles.
Fulfills the #1 job requirement for a hitting coach. Got to be positive. And he is certainly that. Never has a bad day, Darnell Coles.
No.
He's always full of energy when he comes to the ballpark. He's great fun to be around.
Loves to talk hitting.
And he's glad to be back with the Brewers. He had spent some time with the Tigers, but was actually managing in the Brewers minor league system before he left to Detroit and then returned to the organization last year. Hill hits that one sharply off the glove of Peraza and into left field. Handcuffed him with a line drive. So Hill will reach on a base hit.
Yeah, waits back nicely on a breaking pitch that ended up right down the middle. A bullet right off the glove of Peraza. Zach Cozart's going to be the shortstop to start the year for Cincinnati. He's back from injury.
That was a wicked knee injury last year. Cozart in June tore the ACL, had to have it surgically repaired. He's coming back. He and Brandon Phillips making up a dynamic defensive keystone combination as Keon Broxton takes a strike. This has been one of the guys that has opened up a lot of eyes in camp this spring. Keon Broxton. He turned 26 this season. Got some big league time with the Pirates last year. The Brewers traded for him. He was in that Jason Rogers deal. Rogers was sent to the Pirates. The Brewers got a minor leaguer, Trey Supak, and Broxton from Pittsburgh. You don't see a lot of trades inside the division. Big chopper. Broxton can run. They go to second for the out there.
What, Gino?
And the first out of the inning as Broxton reaches on a fielder's choice.
And look for Broxton to run every chance he's had. He's been got a good jump and trying to steal some bases. Actually had 3 stolen bases in a single game here in spring training. He's got 6.
Right.
I would imagine he may try to swipe one here. Barnhart's already thrown out one. Got him in the first. We've had 2 caught stealings in this game. Lucroy and Barnhart each with caught stealing in the first inning. Here's Jonathan Villar, takes strike 1. Slated to be the opening day shortstop, Villar. Coming to Milwaukee from the Astros.
He got off to a terrific start at the plate, but you can see with those numbers has had a much difficult time as spring training has gone on.
BR's still a young guy. He's only 24. Had 46 at-bats this spring, 9 hits, just 3 extra base hits, has a double and a triple this spring. Batting with 1 out, Broxton started then stopped. Now a chance to turn it. Flip to the bag for 1 and a double play. 4-6-3 it goes. And the bottom of the second ends just like the top of the second. No score in Maryville. Brewers Reds. Fox Sports Supports congratulates Girls on the Run for 20 years of encouraging girls to activate their limitless potential and boldly pursue their dreams. You can register now for Girls on the Run Greater Milwaukee Spring 5K. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the upcoming events tab for details. Beautiful spring training afternoon in Arizona, and we get a chance to visit with the Brewers skipper. Craig Counsell joins us from the first base dugout. Craig, thanks for spending a little time with us. I would imagine that you guys are ready to put the fork in the spring training portion of the exhibition schedule. How hard is it to keep guys motivated this time of year?
We've been doing a pretty good job of it. I think, you know, for everybody, you start looking at that last week of spring training, and it's hard not to look ahead. You know, it's hard not to look at what's next, and we're on to Houston for a couple days, which everybody's excited about, and 1 day in Biloxi at our AA affiliate, and then we get started. So less than a week away, and you know, I think it's tough to get through this part, but also guys are starting to get excited because it's coming.
Craig, your first spring training as the head guy, what has been the biggest surprise to you as you go through spring training this year?
Well, I think the biggest surprise is what's different from the season for me is this being the first spring is that's just the number of players that we start out with. We start, you know, managing 60 players and a bunch of coaches and trying to get everything organized and get a message and a foundation built. That's been the real challenge this spring, and I think that's, you know, really project number one of what we've set out to achieve is build a solid foundation with both our, you know, how we're going to act, how we're going to play, you know, what so people that come in here and see us play know how we're going to play. So all those things are really important to me, and I think we've accomplished those this spring.
Yeah, a lot of questions regarding your bullpen. You know, Will Smith is not going to be available. How do you anticipate trying to fill that void with Smith not being available to you?
Well, people are going to have to step in and kind of fill that void. There's going to be opportunities. I don't know if we're completely set on what everybody's roles are. Guys are going to pitch their way into roles. That's how I'm approaching it. You know, and that's how we'll do it. I think that's the best way. Oftentimes the players will tell you where they should pitch, where they should play, where they should hit in the lineup. So we'll let that happen a little bit throughout the early parts of the season, and guys will solidify roles. I'm confident of that.
Visiting with Craig Counsell, the skipper of the Brewers, watching Willie Peralta, and he strikes out his mound opponent. Second strikeout for Willie, and 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the third. What have you seen from Peralta today? We don't have a radar gun out, but he looks like he's got the life back on his fastball. He's ready for opening day, it looks like.
No, Willie, I'll tell you what, Willie's last start, he pitched against the Royals and kind of pitched against their, really their opening day lineup, and he was outstanding last time out, and it appears he's got the same type stuff today. The big thing with Willie, is when you see ground balls, you know it's going good. When he can get swing and miss with his slider, it's a big thing to keep right-handed hitters honest. And then the left-handers, he's got less margin for error with the left-handed hitters, and so he's got to be careful with those guys. But Willie's sinker is a pitch that really bullies right-handed hitters, and when that's on, we'll get a lot of ground balls.
Back at the top of the order, Peraza. What was it like, Craig, when you told him? I would imagine that's a thrill for a manager to be able to tell a guy, you're my opening day starter. Can you give us a little insight on what that conversation was like and his reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Willie, I think he had a disappointing season last year, but this is his 4th year really in the big leagues, and he's ready to take off, in my opinion. So he was a 17-game winner 2 years ago, and there's no reason why he can't be that again.
Counts, we appreciate your time. Always great to catch up, and we'll see you opening day. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, great. Look forward to it.
Craig Counsell, Brewers manager, as Willie Peralta blows through the inning.
Today,
No score here at Maryvale as we head to the Brewers' half of the 3rd inning, and be there next week as the Brewers kick off the 2016 season against the Giants Monday, April 4th through Wednesday the 6th. Tickets are still available for games Tuesday and Wednesday. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com/tickets.
It's coming fast. Opening week. Can't wait. Miller Park is going to be electric for that opening day. The parking lots will be full. There's nothing quite like opening day in Milwaukee. Peralta will get an at-bat today. Willie starting to hit his last couple of times around.
What do you think, Willie's going to hit one this year? You think this is
I
the
feel
year?
like this is the year. He has such a home run swing, which that was one of them. Just rarely able to make contact.
Oh, he's going to this year. I'm calling it. He's going to go yard.
He puts on the best batting practice show among all the pitchers. He hasn't quite been able to take that to game action yet.
It's coming.
But it's going to happen. We've been selling him hard for 3 years now, and he's making us look bad, to be honest with you. I told him that before the game today. As Peralta goes back up the middle, a base hit. And so Willie, a converted position player to pitcher, singles to start the inning.
And usually you make that conversion when you can hit all that well. So Willie able to bang one back into center field. You see, he should have gotten on his case a little bit earlier, maybe a couple of years ago. Give him a hard time, and he gets a single hard into center field.
I was in the clubhouse before the game today talking to Peralta, and now normally you wouldn't talk to the starting pitcher before a game, but those rules don't necessarily apply in spring training.
And really not to Willie either.
Yeah, he's pretty much a guy. He's like CC Sabathia in that regard, where he'll talk to you before a game. But Will Smith was giving him a little bit as well. And I was saying you're going to get a couple of hits, get some knocks opening day. You're excited about facing Bumgarner. And Will Smith said, "Oh, he hit some home runs. What are you talking about? Going deep." Maybe we'll just work on getting the bunt down first.
Yeah, that's job one.
I don't want to put the expectations too high. I felt like we've set the bar so high for Willie. It's probably our fault why things have not gone well at the plate.
No, we can do that up here, but you don't want to take that down to the player. You know, that they start getting into their head.
A shot foul by Walls.
Guys get on each other about their swings and their at-bats. The starting pitchers.
You should hear what Bill Schroeder was saying about you. I'm sure that never comes up.
Nice hack. I was telling you, got a nice swing. Just got to make contact.
Back to the top of the Brewers order, Colin Walsh, the switch hitter. And Walsh is down on strikes. It's a pretty good breaking ball right there from Morris.
He's showing a good slider for sure. I mean, that's a good pitch for him. He's been able to, locate that fastball, get in on the hands of some of these right-handed hitters.
So the first out, the Brewer pitcher Peralta is still at first base. Here's Presley. It's got to be a thrill for a guy pitching in minor league camp, getting the opportunity to not just pitch in a big league game, but pitch in a big league game that is televised. And I'm sure his friends and family can access this game, and they'll want to see this one. Never know. Might be something that springs him into a big league spot. I'll never forget when my brother Mike was coming up in the Cubs system. He had been traded from the Reds to the Cubs, but in spring training one year, they called him up to pitch in a major league game. He was in minor league camp. Almost the same scenario here with A.J. Morris. But they called him over to pitch against the Colorado Rockies. He was pitching for the Cubs, and the game was on WGN. And Harry Carey was calling the play-by-play back then. And I can remember Mike pitching and Harry Carey calling the play-by-play. He and Steve Stone. What a thrill for our family. I don't think Harry was real thrilled that he was pitching because he didn't know anything about him.
They didn't have the internet back then.
Tony, you got anything on this guy?
Yeah.
There's a little half swing. He goes. Presley is out. And back-to-back strikeouts for A.J. Morris.
Yeah, both coming on that breaking pitch. A good pitch for him. Wow. He's got that pitch working for him. There's another guy working quickly. We talked about Willie Peralta working quickly. So is Morris. Getting it and going. Defense loves that.
2 outs after a lead single by Peralta. He's still at first. And it'll be Ryan Braun.
Don't let him get too far away, Freddie.
Braun, a strikeout victim in the first. He struck out looking in that first inning.
Yeah, Morris has 4 punch outs.
2 in the first. He got Braun and Carter. And now back-to-back Ks here in the third. Ryan coming off a record-setting season. Set the Brewers franchise home run record last year, passing Robin Yount.
Yeah, nice bounce-back season for Brawny before he had that back issue.
Made the All-Star team. Sounded like he broke his bat. A fly ball into center field, easy enough for Schebler, and that'll do it for the Brew Crew in the third inning. No score. 3 innings in the books. We head to the fourth. The Reds are coming up. Take a look at our Cousins game summary with 3 in the books. No score here. 3 hits apiece. Total board is identical. And these 2 pitchers are going well. Perfect time for a selfie. A lot of selfie opportunities here in Arizona. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, our producer and director, Marty Tarr, and our terrific Phoenix-based flight crew here in Arizona.
Marty's done a heck of a job.
Yes.
He's done all 10 broadcasts with us. And he knows the game of baseball. He knows baseball.
He's an excellent golfer as well, and just generally a handsome man and a nice man to deal with. He's in the truck like an octopus in there, producing and directing on Fox Sports Wisconsin broadcast. What do you got on Willie Peralta at this point, Rock? 3 solid innings, giving up 3 hits, but he looks like he's rounding himself into opening day shape quickly.
Well, it looks like he looks like he's got a lot of confidence out there in the mound. You know, the first few outings, you know, these pitchers work on things. You know, Derek Johnson, you know, sits them down, says, let's work on some change-ups today. Maybe throwing pitches they normally wouldn't be throwing in a game. And last time, Willie just pitched like he would in the regular season, doing the same thing today. The time for working on stuff is pretty much in the rearview window in spring training now. And it's a matter of these guys getting ready, having good feelings going into their first start for the regular season.
Ivan DeJesus Jr. will lead it off for the Reds in the 4th. Peralta 42 pitches through the first 3 innings. No Votto, no Brandon Phillips, no Cozart in the lineup today. Reds do have Jay Bruce in there.
No Billy Hamilton, no Mesoraco, so
a little jam shot out to second, bobbled. Walsh will commit the error. So DeJesus Jr. will reach on an E4. That's the only real question mark in Colin Walsh's game, his defense. He's a good hitter, good on base man.
Well, they shaded up the middle, just not able to get there. I think Willie gets a piece of this baseball, and if he fields that cleanly, that's an easy out at first base. Brewers have been playing some pretty good defense this spring. Haven't made too many miscues. That is going to be imperative for this Brewers ball club to play clean defense.
Fly ball into right. Presley coming in. He's got it. And on the first pitch to Eugenio Suarez, Peralta gets his first out on a soft liner to right. I think that's just talking to Craig Counsell throughout the spring, and Craig just joined us from the dugout a moment ago. I mean, he definitely wants to establish something in spring training that we will see the rest of the year. It's a style of play. It's a focus on fundamentals. Every day the Brewers have gone through a particular fundamentals drill, and usually the man who runs those drills is Craig Counsell's bench coach and his former college coach, Pat Murphy. And that is a very lively and spirited man right there. I was shocked watching him operate today.
And it's every day.
I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like it.
No, it's every day. I mean, every day that they do those fundamentals, he is loud. He's having a good time. The guys enjoy it. You know, Counsell was saying that you ask him, how do you keep these guys engaged at this point in spring training? Pat Murphy does a great job of that.
It's really funny. First of all, I wish I could have recorded it for you, but imagine Chris Farley in Saturday Night Live and the voice of his character, you know, the man down by the river.
Right. Yep.
That's kind of the way he talks. And so today's drill was all about bunt sequences and bunt plays, and there was one ball. So that they used one ball. Usually guys have extra baseballs in their back pocket or in a ball bag somewhere, but nope. If they threw it away, they had to go chase it down. There was one ball, and oh man, it was great.
Yep.
Very entertaining, and I think the players are all laughing, and it's the combination of actually getting good work done and focus being on the fundamentals, but then also having a little fun while you're doing it.
No doubt. And you know, the way he does it, he makes these guys concentrate because they don't want to be singled out.
That's true.
He has a good time with it.
The shift is on, and Walsh boots another one. And his second error of the inning. Boy, a tough inning here for Colin Walsh.
Inning should be over. It should be a nice, crisp, clean inning for Willie Peralta, but finds himself in trouble. This is exactly what the Brewers are not going to be able to do in the regular season. Nobody feels worse than him. He had two very easy, relatively easy plays. I think Walsh was thinking about a double play before he had it in his glove. I always thought that Ed Cedars' voice carried well.
Right. Nothing like Pat Murphy.
Need to have a contest at some point.
And he shouts out just random people walking in the stands, or you know, this is before the gates are open, so he'd see an usher, or he'd see somebody down on the field or booming out into the outfield. And it's a bit of a comedy routine, and it's a bit of a fundamental routine as well. It's
but
quite interesting.
They're getting something out of it.
Sure.
I mean, that's the point. And they're having fun doing it.
Pat Murphy joins the Brewers from the San Diego Padres. He was the interim manager in San Diego. He actually started the year managing the AAA club until the Padres let Bud Black go. And then Murphy managed the rest of the way. Murphy was the college coach of Craig Counsell at Notre Dame. And of course, Murphy made a name for himself at the collegiate level at Notre Dame and Arizona State. That's going to sneak through a base hit for Duvall. And around third, coming home to score, DeJesus. And the Reds are on the board. Those two costly errors leading to a run here in this fourth inning.
Yeah, just out of the reach of Chris Carter. You know, Carter's range somewhat limited. He's a big guy. Tried to get down there and keep it in front of him, or at least knock it down and keep it from the outfield, but couldn't do it. So first hit of the inning, plates a run. Just not able to get there. Couldn't get down, and good base running by Jay Bruce to get over to third base.
So that'll be an unearned run on Peralta's line. Reds score first today. And here's Scott Schebler. He's fighting for a major league spot on the opening day roster. Had a single his last time up.
You know, getting back to the the focus on defense, and it just doesn't stop there. I mean, we've seen a lot of very good situational at-bats by the Brewers throughout the spring. You know, advancing base runners, trying to put the ball in play, not trying all the time to go up there and hit the ball in the gaps.
Base hit into center field is going to bring another run in. RBI single for Schebler. His second hit off Peralta. He swung the bat well against him today. And after a couple of errors early in the inning, back-to-back singles, still just one out, and runners at first and second. 2-0 Reds.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see a big emphasis on small ball this year for the Brewers. You're going to have some stolen bases, you know, aggressive base running, guys not just going up there trying to hit home runs.
Well, see if Peralta can get a ground ball here. Needs one. Facing Jordan Pacheco. Although in a spring training scenario, it's probably on some level, I would imagine, Craig Counsell and Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, want to see how Willie pitches out of jams and pitches out of tough breaks behind him. That's part of it too. There are going to be errors throughout the course of a season. Try to limit the damage as best you can.
And a couple of years ago, Willie made great strides in that regard, not letting little things bother him, things that were out of his control. You know, maybe a bad call, maybe an error, and he was able to overcome those things.
And there's a ground ball. That's through, a base hit. Coming in to score is Duvall. 3 runs are in for the Reds on 3 consecutive singles. Still just one out. Well, these are all ground balls that could have or should have been played, depending. Finding holes now for Peralta.
Well, again, it's not like Willie has, lost it at all. It's just as you mentioned. I mean, ground balls that now are finding holes that, were not early in the game.
So here is Tucker Barnhart, switch hitting catcher. He'll be the backup to Devin Mesoraco this season. Mesoraco is back strong and healthy again. He'll be ready for opening day after hip surgery last year. That was a key loss for Cincinnati a season ago. Brian Price glad to have his all-star catcher back. 2 years ago, all 3 catchers on the National League All-Star team were from the Central Division. And Russell Martin, then of the Pirates, and Lucroy Mesoraco. An extended inning for Peralta. 5 hitters have reached base. 2 errors, 3 consecutive singles. Still first and second for Willie. And he misses high. 3-1 the count.
Oh, yeah.
Brewers are going to see the Reds early in the schedule. May, as a matter of fact. Trip to Cincinnati May 5th through May 8th. It's a 4-game series. Cinco de Mayo in Cincinnati.
There you go.
A trip to the hat store for Rock. There's ball 4. And he walked him. Bases loaded with 1 away.
Brewers seem to be in Cincinnati just about every 4th of July lately, and it's like 2-3 years in a row.
It's always some holiday when you're in Cincinnati. This year, Cinco de Mayo. Get the sombreros out.
Brewers have some tough teams they're going to be starting the season against, huh? Playoff teams. Houston, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Cubs, all coming in in April. Start out with the Giants.
Let's take a look there. Willie Peralta. That was a few pitches ago. Grabbing it is right behind his knee. Quick check on him. Derek Johnson wants to make sure he's all right. I promise you, if there was even a hint of an injury, he would not be pitching. He don't want to take any risks heading into opening day Monday.
No. See Willie do this quite a bit. I mean, kind of loses footing once in a while. You can see him grab at the the back of his leg.
Well, he's got the bases loaded. The pitcher is at the plate, Morris. Brewers do have activity in their bullpen. They'd like to get Peralta as close to 90 pitches as possible. If he's breezing along, they'd let him go closer to 100. But you don't want him in a long inning either, a 30-35 pitch inning.
He's getting there now in this inning.
On, AJ.
Well, 2 errors to start this inning really set the inning up for Cincinnati.
Yeah, should have been out of it in about 8 pitches.
That was Jim Miller loosening in the bullpen for the Brewers. And a swing and a miss. Morris down on strikes. Peralta with his 3rd strikeout. And now 2 outs in the inning, and the 9th batter of the inning, Jose Peraza. Back to the leadoff hitter for Cincinnati. And I would imagine this could be Peralta's last hitter if he doesn't retire it. We'll see. On the first pitch, VR's got it to second for the out, and that'll do it. So a couple of errors sets up 3 unearned runs against Peralta. The Reds are on the board. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning from Phoenix. Brewers coming up down 3. Well, now it's 3-0 Cincinnati on our Menards scoreboard. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. See Willie Peralta there talking with the pitching coach, and had a word for Colin Walsh. You know he feels bad. Tells Willie, hey, my bad. I'm sorry about that. Teamwork makes the dream work, Brock.
Yeah, and Willie, responding, looked like he was saying, hey, I should have got those guys out. You pick me up, I'll pick you up, and that's the way it goes as a team, right?
Much easier to do in spring training. But you like to see that mutual respect.
Yeah, rough inning for Walsh, who's been picking it pretty well down here in spring. And moving him around the infield, just couldn't get it going here.
Here's Jonathan Lucroy. Brewers down 3-0. Lucroy walked his last time up. He'll bat for the second time. We're hoping to catch up with Ryan Braun today after his third at-bat. He's agreed to come on the air with us, but you never know. Just depends on how it goes.
No, he's a man of his word. I mean, if somebody reminds him, I'm sure that's not top of mind for him, but he's got to be reminded, cajoled to put a headset on.
Yes. We got to have a cajoler down there. Lucroy, right field, hit well, way back there. Bruce on the run, and he runs it down. Jay Bruce, what a catch.
Well, how many years have been watching Jay Bruce do that? I mean, one of the better defensive outfielders in the game. He's got a cannon for an arm in the outfield. Made that one look easy up against the wall and right. Check out Luke. Oppo, slider from Morris, and hits it hard. Jay Bruce able to go back like we've seen many times over the years and hauls it in.
Excellent play by Bruce. Takes an extra base hit away from Lucroy. Here's Chris Carter. Starts him with the first pitch breaking ball. A lot of those today from A.J. Morris. He's pitched well. You got to give him credit. He's making the most of his opportunity with the big leaguers. Carter, a strikeout victim his last time up. A called strike 3 against Carter. Morris has been around a while. He'll be 29 this season. Was in the Nationals system to begin. A little time in the Cubs system, the Pirates most recently. Getting a chance here with Cincinnati, at least in their minor league setting. He's from Humble, Texas, just outside Houston. The H is silent, Rock. If you're ever
it's not humble.
If you're ever in Humble, that's how they separate those who are from there and those who aren't, as Carter draws the walk.
I'm sure there's other ways.
Well, that's going to be the end of the line here for A.J. Morris out of Humble, Texas. Brian Price makes a call to his bullpen. And the kid coming up from the minor leagues did a good job. That'll at least leave an impression. And we'll have a pitching change with a runner at first and one out. We play in the 4th inning. Brewers batting down 3. Stay with us. Up 3-0. Brewers are batting here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Maryville Baseball Park. Spring training home of the Brew Crew. Phoenix proper. And the new pitcher is a former big leaguer and another Texan on the mound, Ross Ohlendorf. Last seen with the Texas Rangers last year and began the year in camp with the Royals, and now he's made his way over to Reds camp.
There you see his numbers a year ago. Pretty good numbers. A 3-1 record in 21 appearances. A 372 earned run average. Not a hard thrower. Remember him with the Pirates in the Central Division.
So Ohlendorf will take over with a man at first. Aaron Hill with a base hit to left. 2 for 2, Aaron Hill. And he has barreled up both pitches.
I know that's going to put a smile on Craig Counsell's face. He's been waiting for Aaron Hill to get going all spring. Good time to start heating up right before the season starts.
2 on with 1 out. Brewers trying to answer a 3-run top of the 4th by the Reds. All of those runs are unearned, by the way. A couple of errors for the Brewers. And so here's Broxton now, Keon Broxton. This might be a name you want to get to know a little bit if you're a Brewers fan. Broxton has a Devon White kind of look about him, and especially when he plays center field, the way he ranges for a baseball, he can really run.
Long strides. Doesn't look like he's putting much effort in, but he is covering a lot of ground quickly. He's got a good, accurate throwing arm. He has something on the baseball when he throws it in. He can steal bases. Just a matter of being able to get him enough playing time.
He's from Lakeland, Florida, and was originally in the Pirates organization. As I mentioned, the Brewers traded for him. He was actually drafted by the Diamondbacks out of a community college in Florida. So he entered into the pro game in '09 and finally pushed his way to the big leagues last year. That was his first chance in the major leagues. Played 7 games with the Pirates, had a couple of at-bats.
And you figure Broxton's putting a lot of pressure on himself in these at-bats as spring training winds down. He knows he's got a pretty good shot at making his club.
Double up.
Somehow you just have to put it out of your mind. But it's awfully difficult to do.
Broxton has 2 on. Carter at second, Hill at first. Carter walked, and Hill just singled on the first pitch that Ohlendorf delivered. Last year, Broxton spent most of the year in AAA Indianapolis. He split time between AA and AAA last year, but played in 88 games in AAA Indianapolis. Hit .256 last year after beginning the year at AA and hitting over 300. Matter of fact, he had .365. I beg your pardon, .302 at AA. And a high on base percentage, which is what the Brewers liked about him.
Especially with his speed, you'd like to be able to get him on base somehow. Base hit or a walk.
Last year, between AA and AAA, and even his 7 games in the big leagues, he combined for 39 stolen bases. Had 1 steal in the majors. 39 bags caught 15 times. 2 on, 1 away for Keon Broxton. On the ground, a hot one. Bobbled at second, and they're only able to get 1.
Something in the air over there at second base.
I guess you have to cut the infielders a little bit of slack this time of year. You think about all the games that have been played on these surfaces and the sun shining brightly every day, the warm temperatures until today. And sometimes these infields can get extremely fast and hard, meaning the bounces you wouldn't normally see in a regular big league field. They've done a great job here with the stadium. It's just inevitable when you play this many games. And it's not just the games, it's all the pregame work as well, and all the activity on the field.
Yeah, these fields are in immaculate shape. I mean, not just talking about the stadium field. Every field these guys are on, perfect. Conditions very good. Minor league side, outstanding. You should have been around here 20, 30 years ago, seeing some of the fields we played on.
Back when men were men.
Yes, sir.
And bad hops were customary.
Made a man out of you.
Little tapper by VR, and Ohlendorf is going to get out of the inning, so the Brewers come up empty. 3-0 Redlegs. 4 in the books at Maryvale. We're on our way to the 5th. Cincinnati's coming up. Reds are up 3-0 as we go to the 5th inning from Maryvale Baseball Park. Spring training baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. We're in the Cactus League. And our Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers ready to open up play Monday against the Giants. Now, Monday and Wednesday will be afternoon games. The only night game in that series is the April 5th matchup against the Giants. And the opening day matchup will be Willie Peralta against Madison Bumgarner. And then the Astros are coming in after an off day on Thursday. So a weekend series against Houston, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Boy, those are two excellent ball clubs the Brewers are going to see right away. Willie Peralta's out. He'll be ready for his opening day start. And now the man who is now emerging as the closer, Jeremy Jeffress, will get some work today.
And Craig Counsell's made a good effort, not trying to put too much pressure on Jeremy's back because Will Smith is out, but you know he knows what's going on. 72 appearances last year, terrific numbers. Almost as many strikeouts as innings pitched. 4th appearance down here in spring training. Got off to a bit of a slow start, had a hamstring that was giving him some problems, but says he's ready to go 100%.
First ball swinging. DeJesus into right center. That's down, a base hit. Broxton will run it down at the wall, but not before. It is a leadoff double. Devon DeJesus Jr.
Well, these Reds can swing the bat. They've been scoring some runs against Milwaukee. First 2 games, high-scoring games, and Reds are ready with 3 runs on the board, looking for more.
Well, I think Jeremy Jeffress is certainly excited about the opportunity to close games. That's what he has dreamed of since moving into the bullpen. Came up in the minor leagues as a starter. But he also admits he didn't want to have it happen this way. Will Smith is one of his very best friends, and he hates to see Smith go down with an injury. Those two were essentially going to split the closer's duties. It really all depended on matchups. And I'm talking to Craig Counsell today. He said it still depends on matchups. And one of the things that he wants to try to establish without an established closer here, a guy like Francisco Rodriguez, is that if it feels like a closing situation in the 8th inning, he wants the flexibility to be able to use his best reliever. For example, if you're running into Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto and Jay Bruce in the 8th inning in a 1-run lead, you might not get the statistic of a save, but that's when he wants his best reliever, his best closer going in that inning. So I think every manager would love that option, but
that makes sense. So it's just not etched in stone who's going to be the guy that's going to be out there in the 9th inning.
Not at the outset anyway, as Counsell always says, as Suarez strikes out. So the first punch out for Jeffress.
At some point somebody's going to be the closer, and Jeremy Jeffress has the inside leg on that job at this point. He certainly has the stuff for it. That big fastball, the overhand curveball. He was toying around with a changeup, kind of a split change last year. And a lot of guys have the stuff to be closers. It's the mental game that gets most guys.
Now those last 3 outs. Something about that experience.
Yeah.
Jeffress facing Jay Bruce. He's got a runner at second. Leadoff double by DeJesus. Red scored 3 unearned runs last inning, and I think the length of the inning probably determined the fate of Willie Peralta, at least for the exhibition schedule. Right off the end of the bat. Oh my goodness, right through the legs of Walsh. And this is going to bring in another run, and this is not what the Brewers want to see out of Colin Walsh. Just told he was going to make the major league team this morning, and he's committed 3 errors, and another run is in to make it 4-0 Cincinnati.
Yeah, he had 2 errors coming into the game. This one right between the wickets. Glove came up, ball stays down. Second error that he's committed against Jay Bruce. Sometimes you just get the yips, right?
Yeah, now you're moving into more of the mental side of things than physical. So that'll be an E4. Run comes in. Still 1 out. It is interesting this year how the Brewers and Craig Counsell, they have decided to, once they've made up their minds. As a ground ball to short. Nice play, VR to second for 1. And no chance to turn 2. That was pretty by the Brewers shortstop.
Yeah, got down there, got the baseball, and out of his glove quickly. That was a nice play. I'd say the Brewers blessed with a lot of very athletic shortstops. And Jonathan VR, certainly one of them.
He could really pick it.
Got good range, a good throwing arm, very accurate arm from what we've seen so far. That's not an easy play with that backhand, that tricky hop right at the end.
But you know, Rock, just the way Counsell and company and David Stearns, the general manager, have done it, they're basically telling these players when they've made the major league team, when they feel like they've decided that fate, as opposed to what most teams do and what the Brewers have done historically for years, wait till the very end and then make those decisions.
Right. Well, with Capuano and Blaine Boyer, they had to make those decisions because they had it in their contracts. If they don't make the ball club by a certain amount of time, they become free agents. So those 2 guys you can understand. But Colin Walsh, a Rule 5 guy, they decided to let him know early that he made the ball club, maybe to take the pressure off of him. And it's been a rough day for him.
But you can imagine a scenario if he didn't know.
Right.
And he makes 3 errors in a game. He's probably, I mean, he's already upset by his performance today, but there's a little different element of calmness about a spring training game when you're making errors and you know you've made the team. And he's a Rule 5 guy, so it's either he makes the Brewers big league club or the Brewers have to send him back to the Athletics. Regardless, he wants to succeed. He wants to play well, and I'm sure this is not something he expected today. You don't see major leaguers make errors like these.
Yeah, routine plays. The first one a bit of a tough chance, but the other two pretty routine.
There's a line shot. Schebler with his 3rd hit. And it'll be 1st and 3rd for the Reds. He's really swinging the bat well.
And every hit has been hit right on the nose. Not sure if he's going to make the ball club, but he certainly opened up some eyes. Nice easy swing. Left-hander stands up tall, and that bat like a bullet through the strike zone. Another base hit.
That's the 2nd hit in the inning off of Jeffress. 2 outs. Here is Pacheco. Third at bat for Pacheco. He bounced into a double play to end the 2nd inning, and then he singled to right his last time up. 1st and 3rd, 2 away.
They mentioned Willie Peralta coming out early. It might have been that long inning. It might have been a little bit of that hamstring that he was grabbing. Any sign of any problems, get him out.
Now the Reds lost their opening day starter, Jose Iglesias. He's not, Anthony DeSclafani is out. Iglesias will be their opening day starter. DeSclafani with an oblique injury is not even going to be able to answer the bell for the first game for Cincinnati. So the Cuban defector.
And starting pitching was the big problem last year for Cincinnati.
2-0 the count with 2 away. On the ground, right to Hill. Nice snatch. And a throw to first to get his man. Pacheco retired, and unearned run scores. And the Reds now lead it 4-0. Bottom of the 5th coming. The Brewers coming to bat. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Maryvale Baseball Park. See those blankets spread out on the berms above the outfield wall. It's a great seat. Get a little more interactive with the players in spring training. Always a lot of fun down here. Dreams are alive for those two. They're going to be on that field one day saying, I'm going to be right there. I want to be playing left field. A couple of changes for the Reds. Rock, the new pitcher is Blake Wood.
Yeah, see his numbers from a year ago down in the minor leagues. 57 appearance at 353 earned run average. He has seen time in the major leagues in his career. He's been around since '06 in professional ball. Spent time with the Royals and the Indians in the major leagues. And last year with Cincinnati.
Pinch hitter for the Brewers, Kirk Neuenhuis, will bat. He is one of the 3 that is fighting for 2 of the outfield spots that'll be open. New third baseman, by the way, for the Reds is Seth Mejias-Breen. So those are the 2 changes for Cincinnati. And Council has Neuenhuis bat for Jeffress. Jeffress goes just the 1 inning, an unearned run. After Peralta started and went 3 earned runs, or rather 3 runs, no earned runs against Willie. Looks like Corey Knebel will be next on the mound for Milwaukee. That's a great shot. Imagination running wild.
Yeah. You remember your first big league game?
Oh, I'll never forget it. Walking through the concourse out into this stadium and seeing the beautiful green grass, which was completely artificial at the Houston Astrodome. There's nothing like the smell of fake grass, Rock.
Right.
Neuenhuis takes the ball high. Yeah, we went to a lot of games in Houston when I was growing up.
That's where you and I first met.
That's right. You remember
Astrodome.
it well, don't you, Rock?
Yeah, I do. You made a big impression. I knew you were going to be a big-time broadcaster right when I first met you.
In 2006, in the winter of '06, when I came to Milwaukee to interview for the TV job, one of the things that I did was to do a demo game, an audition game with Bill Schroeder. There's a called strike 3, and Neuenhuis is out, first out of the inning.
You and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, but you know, I was one of the many.
Not at the same time, but
So
you were there.
We went in, and you know, I'm a little nervous, and we're going to work with Bill Schroeder. We're going to do this game, and now I had met Bill Schroeder just a few years prior to that, so I was feeling a little more at ease about the whole situation.
Figure you had the inside track,
You know,
right?
I'm thinking, well, we know each other. We had all hung out together in Houston with Matt Vasgersian. I was there seeing Matt, and of course Matt worked with Rock, and so it was a nice, fun moment. We all had I thought we had a great time. We had a lot of laughs, and I felt a little more secure about the whole situation until I walked in the conference room where this demo game was going to be had, and there he is, and I say, "How you doing, Rock?" He goes, "Hey, nice to meet you."
Okay. Yeah. You know what? You should have had Vasgersian call.
I should have had a little
Call
setup.
ahead.
A little advance warning. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? Walsh bounces to second base.
But you have to understand, I mean, and I've told you this story, 100 times. Do you have any idea how many of Matty's minor league friends that he dragged into press conference or press room dinners with us over the course of the time we were there, 5 years?
You don't say minor league friends. You have another word for it.
What was that?
It's not suitable for air, but I know what you're saying. I mean, he did bring a few. He was very good that way. He's very giving.
Yeah, right. He was showing off is what he was doing.
No, we looked up to Matt. It's really hard to make it out of the minor leagues.
Right, yeah.
And he was kind of the guy. He was the Trojan horse for all of us. He opened the doors.
And he's showing off for you is what he was doing.
He was. Presley with a base hit up the middle, a 2-out single for
But you know
Alex
what?
Presley.
When you told me that story, I did remember you.
See, I don't believe you at all.
I did remember. I remember what I had for dinner that night, roasted chicken.
Here's Ryan Braun.
Of course, I had that every night in Houston.
Probably the final at-bat for Ryan Braun. And the Brewers trailing 4-0. Love to see Ryan get a hold of one here. He's had very few at-bats this spring, 9 of them as a matter of fact. He has 4 hits. Has yet to homer. The other part about that day I remember is, I grew up listening to Milo Hamilton, the Hall of Fame radio voice of the Astros, the late Milo Hamilton, and I was really excited to meet him, and Matt also introduced me to Milo Hamilton, and he introduced me as Brian Anderson from the San Antonio Missions, the minor league team. Milo Hamilton looked at me, shook my hand. I was expecting some, great words of advice, and he said, "Better you than me." You guys are cruel in the big leagues, man.
It was a rough day for you.
Wow.
Huh?
I mean, all of the.
Yeah, but look how things have turned out. I mean, if everybody was just opening the, spreading their arms open, patting you on the back, it might not have turned out this way. You worked at it. You earned it, right? Tough love.
Tough love has paid off.
Someday you're going to be able to do that to me.
See, now I try to treat everybody really nicely and remember who they are. Braun down the right field line. That is close, but foul. And the second strike gave it a ride. I mean, you weren't too far from your playing days back then. This would have been, what, 97 maybe, 96, something like that.
And that's the thing. I mean, I was kind of I wasn't comfortable in my own skin yet. And
you seemed extremely comfortable, actually.
That was at dinner.
I was actually thinking this guy is extremely comfortable in his surrounding right now. Braun takes a ball low. But you weren't too far removed from, your playing days where you went through the school of hard knocks with guys like Robin Yount and Pete Vukovich and Ted Simmons. And I'm sure that was fresh on your mind.
Right. It was just kind of, rookie hazing is all it was.
And I know you weren't quite comfortable with the whole notion of being part of the media either.
Still aren't.
20 years later, he's still not. Full count to Braun. Got him. Down he goes. A backwards K. Braun 0 for 3 today. Hopefully he'll throw a headset on for us. We're open to interview him when we come back. Up 4-0, top of the 6th inning from Maryvale Baseball Park. Great to have you with us today on our spring training telecast.
Hey, Brewers Group ticket packages are now on sale, starting at just $5 per ticket. With a variety of options to choose from, you can plan a custom tailgate, reserve a block of seats, or even rent out an all-exclusive area or a party suite. Start planning your group outing at brewers.com/groups.
Got some changes here for Milwaukee. Some of the starters are done for the day. Lucroy still in there catching. New second base is Yadiel Rivera. And Kirk Neuenhuis takes over in right field. Got Eric Young Jr. in left, and Neuenhuis, who just got an at-bat, stays in the game in right. So Braun and Presley are out. Outfield is EY Jr., Broxton, and Neuenhuis. And Corey Knebel on the mound.
It's his numbers from a year ago. I mean, he was very good. He kind of opened up some eyes. Those numbers very good for Corey. 6th appearance down here in spring training. And you would imagine that now that Will Smith no longer available for the Brewers, you figure Corey Knebel's stock just went up. We're all going to have to step it up out there in the pen.
Knebel hard throwing. Big right-hander. He's put on about 20 pounds from last year. He's got a lot of power, and he's got a great curveball, and a power curveball at that. And a swing and a miss. Down he goes. There's that curveball. Barnhart strikes out. And a good start to the afternoon for Knebel.
One of those straight overhand curveballs going to go straight down. That 12-6 rotation. And tough to throw for strikes, but with 2 strikes on a hitter, tough for them to lay off that pitch.
So one away. Here is a pinch hitter. Wood. Actually, the pitcher's going to hit. So obviously Brian Price wants to get some innings out of Blake Wood. He's getting a chance to bat. You don't see many relievers get spring training at bats.
Right.
Wonder if he brought his own bat. And helmet and batting gloves and all of that.
I don't think he has one. I don't think he has a bat.
No, I feel like he's been told not to swing. We'll see. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he is out. Might as well have been using a table leg. Back-to-back strikeouts for Knebel. Brian Price writes his little note. He says he is coachable. I told him not to swing the bat, and he stood there like, as Ernie Harwell would say, a house on the side of the room.
Didn't want to hurt himself, you know, swinging the bat, right? Not used to it.
But he went to all the trouble to put batting gloves on.
On, Jose.
Knebel pouring in the strikes. No Ryan Braun interview today, by the way.
Yeah, I saw Ryan run down the line and into the clubhouse.
Once I saw him take a right down on the bullpen, disappear into the clubhouse, that's when I knew.
We had a nice chat with him before the game.
We did. We had a good.
Why don't you just paraphrase?
Good talk with him. I could tell you what he said. Fly ball to center. This is going to be a nice tidy inning for Knebel. 1, 2, 3. The Reds go in order. 4-0 Cincinnati. Let's see if the Brewers can drum up a little offense here in Phoenix today. Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, Cactus League Baseball from spring training. And we remind you, Sunday Sprint Cup Series racing is on FS1 for the first time this season as the circuit heads to Martinsville, where Denny Hamlin looks to defend his title and claim a 6th career checkered flag on NASCAR's shortest track. All starts Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Central, only FS1, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Did you know that was NASCAR's shortest track there?
I did not.
In Martinsville? Yeah.
I didn't.
Everybody knows that, Rob.
I just started to get into NASCAR, actually.
Jonathan Lucroy will lead off for the Brew Crew here in the bottom of the 6th. Blake Wood still on the mound. Lucroy today has lined out, and he has walked. Hit the ball sharply into deep right center in the 4th inning. Jay Bruce made a terrific running catch. Bruce can still go get him and has a cannon for a throwing arm.
Yeah, about as streaky a hitter as it gets. I mean, you go into Cincinnati and the first thing you say is, how's Jay Bruce been swinging the bat? Because you either can't get him out, nobody can get him out, or he has a rough time at the plate. Very streaky. But he's always had good success against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, I feel like the Brewers have been the team that he's either gotten out of slumps with or has extended streaks with. It's always been a tough out. Be curious to see if he finishes the year in Cincinnati. He and Jonathan Lucroy have been in the hopper as far as trade rumors go. Our buddy Bob Nightingale had a story in USA Today about Lucroy and Bruce both admitting they're surprised they're still with their current team.
Well, you're just not going to give them away, that's for sure. I mean, Jay Bruce, Jonathan Lucroy, both of them have a lot of value, and apparently teams not getting what they think they deserve for them.
Reds and the Brewers in a similar position, although the Brewers, I think, have struck quickly and have been able to acquire a number of prospects. I think Cincinnati still has some payroll issues. They've got a lot of high-priced players on their roster still.
Votto, Phillips. A lot of money between those two guys. Both teams lost their closer.
Yeah, Aroldis Chapman now pitching for the New York Yankees. Lucroy into right, sinking fast, but Bruce is right there. And a couple of line drive outs to the Reds right fielder for Jonathan Lucroy.
That's just a good stroke by Luke. Back-to-back at-bats where he was able to hit the ball hard to right field. Nothing to show for it.
So one away for Blake Wood, the Reds pitcher. And he'll face Chris Carter now. Brewers made an announcement yesterday, late yesterday, but preceding today's activities, that Yadiel Rivera and Colin Walsh will make their first opening day roster. Brewers also released Franklin Morales. He had an out in his contract, I believe, and they had to let him know. And that also means that Chris Capuano made the team.
Yeah.
What a comeback story that is.
Good for Chris. Not too many better guys than Chris Capuano, and he gives Craig Counsell some flexibility down there.
Shift is on right into the shift. Carter with a ground ball, and there's out number 2.
Cappy can give you extended innings if need be, maybe long relief, 2-3 innings. And Blaze can give you a couple.
It's impressive that Capuano not only has been able to come back from the second Tommy John surgery, but been able to come back and continue to pitch and log some innings.
Stay healthy.
After a second Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
He is one of the few that have been able to come back successfully from it and pitch this long. Matter of fact, I'll have to do some research. I'll have to talk to him. But I'm not sure there are many guys who have had a second Tommy John procedure, the ligament replacement procedure, that have been able to extend their career as long as Capuano has. As Aaron Hill sends one high into center. It is lost in the sun, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Scott Schebler never saw it. Duvall was racing over as fast as he could to try to help him out, but that's a lot of ground to cover, and that'll be a double for Hill, who's 3 for 3 today.
And he needs these 3 hits. You know, he's had a difficult time at the plate. Pitch down in the zone. Schebler right away says, I don't have it.
No
Try to get there, but that'll be a double for Aaron Hill.
The toughest place to play fly balls in the world, Phoenix, Arizona, this time of year. There are a few clouds up there, though. It's not the traditional high sky that they talk about where there are no clouds. Hill will take it. Broxton on the first pitch, out to short, and that will retire the side. So the Brewers get a sun double from Hill, his 3rd hit of the day, but still a donut on the board. They're trailing 4-0.
Four to nothing Reds here at Maryville, top 7. And this season, kids eat free every Sunday at Miller Park. At all Sunday home games, kids 14 and under will get a free hot dog, bottled water, apple slices, and ice cream treat, courtesy of Pick and Save, Blue Bunny, and Heinz. And view the full schedule at brewers.com/promotions.
Beautiful sunny day, a little cool here in Phoenix, but it's beautiful nonetheless. Soaking up the Rays, Brewers, and the Reds. We head to the 7th inning. A couple of changes here, Rock. We have Shane Peterson in right field, and that's going to bump Neuenhuis to center. So Broxton is out, and the new pitcher is Tyler Thornburg, who Pat Murphy calls Tyler Thornbush.
Yeah, just another way to maintain levity out there in the field. 7th appearance for Tyler. Certainly a guy that can also give you extended innings out of that bullpen.
Well, Ryan Braun declined an interview today, so we went to the Hall of Fame bag, and we bring on Marty Brennaman, the legendary Hall of Fame voice of the Cincinnati Reds.
You guys got way too much time on your hands.
Yeah, we do.
God, is it
But
good
it's
to
all
see
true,
you.
though. It's all true, though.
Way to go, Rock. I like that.
If you don't mind, Rock and I'll take off, and you can handle it. Okay, I'm sorry. No,
I just feel there's such a comfort level in being seated between you two guys.
Yeah,
right
well,
We see each other a lot, don't we?
we have that. We have that aura.
now. I know you do. I know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
We were
There's
thinking
nothing wrong.
about going into a 2-man bobsled situation for the next Olympics.
You know what? I'd bet some money on you.
Yeah.
And I don't bet. I'm
You
very
know,
close to my money.
You remember how Herschel Walker did the
Yes.
bobsled and was the power behind the speed of the bobsled? I think Rock could be that guy.
I'd be the brakeman. Although I've seen you drive. You wouldn't be the driver.
Strikeout for Tyler Thornburg. So, Marty, great to have you here.
Good to see
One
you,
of my
Brian.
mentors, and inspirations, but tell us about the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, I wish I could talk about this club in glowing terms, but I cannot. You know, the big question has been from the get-go when this club made the decision to rebuild last July when they traded Cueto and Mike Leake that they were going to rebuild, and they've gone about it in a rather robust manner. And the pitching right now is extremely questionable from top to bottom. Not only the bullpen, but also the rotation, and we all know how important that aspect of this game is to the success of any club. I think they'll score runs because you got the Vottos and the Phillips and the Bruces of the world and people like that. You got a chance, but it's going to be a rough year, I'm afraid, as far as the lack of pitching.
Yeah, the absence of Aroldis Chapman. I mean, you know, arguably maybe the best closer in the game. I mean, that is a huge loss for Cincinnati.
No question. And I think it was an indication, if anybody needed to be reminded that the club was going into a rebuilding mode when they dealt him, and of course Frazier before that.
That's going to go as an infield hit, little tapper by Mahias Breen. And a base runner for the Reds here in the seventh.
I think they made a mistake in trading. I think they should have traded Chapman last July. I think they would have gotten a lot for him, a heck of a lot more than they ended up getting. But be that as it may, you know, the domestic thing cropped up, which killed the deal with the Dodgers. And, of course, the Yankees stepped in later and rolled the dice and took him in a deal. And then Frazier, of course, going to the Chicago White Sox, which is a very unpopular trade in Cincinnati. But, again, I didn't disagree with any of the moves the club made. I'd trade everybody. There's a player on this club that I wouldn't have traded. And people look at me like I have two heads. I said, for God's sake, this team lost 98 games. You can't fall in love with players on a team that I trade the first baseman, Joey Votto. He's untradeable because of his salary, and I think he's one of the top 4 or 5 hitters in the game today. So I don't disagree with it. It's painful if you're a broadcaster, but it's painful for everybody. I've been there before. People say, boy, I really feel bad for you. But I said, don't feel bad for me. I survived a 100-loss season back in the early 80s, and I've got 3 world championship rings. So don't feel bad for me. But hopefully they'll see the light of day as a result of what they're doing now. And by 2018, there'll be a player in this division, just like I'm sure you guys feel the same way about your club.
And that's true. And looking at this division as we do from the Brewers and Reds perspective, it is amazing that the Cubs have gotten so good so fast. You know, the Cardinals are always going to be there. They always are. And then the Pirates have been able to maintain their success as well. This looks like, again, a juggernaut division in baseball, the NL Central.
It's a killer. I mean, it's an absolute killer. I know there are other divisions that are good. I think, well, maybe not to the extent that our division will be. I think the National League West will be good, but I think our division will be better because I don't think the Dodgers are as good as a lot of people think they are. They got massive pitching problems. I think Arizona's going to be good. We know the Giants are always good. But our division, boy, you better come to play every day if you're playing inside your division.
Visiting with Hall of Fame voice Marty Brennaman, legendary Reds broadcaster. And they're on the radio today. A chance to bring Marty over. No Bob Uecker in the building today. That's always a thrill for us to sit between the 2 booths of the 2 Hall of Famers, Bob Uecker and Marty Brennaman.
It'd be a good reality show.
I would love to see that. Now, do you have any messages for Uecker, who's watching? I'm sure he's watching. You're working and he's not.
I'm sure he is watching. No, I'm just, you know, I was disappointed I didn't get a chance to see him this spring. But again, the fact that I'm over here today, get to see you and Rock, and you know, I'll see you guys sometime in May. We play you home and home in the month of May and end up playing each other about 18 times. I guess.
Yeah, every year, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Cinco de Mayo, Marty.
Yes.
Is when we'll see you.
That's exactly right.
Get your sombrero, senor. Marty, always great to catch up.
Thanks,
You're
Brian.
the best.
Great to see you. Great job in the NCAA,
Oh,
pal.
cool.
You were wonderful.
Thank you.
Rock,
Thanks,
good to
Marty.
see you, pal.
He's the best.
Well, stretch time here at the ballpark. Reds up 4-0 over the Brewers, and all season long, kids and seniors save 50% on tickets for all midweek day games at Miller Park. For the complete listing of this season's kids and seniors discount days, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com/fan values.
2 changes for the Reds, Rock, if you'd like to write that in your scorebook, unless you've completely given up at this point. Got a new third baseman. That is Ray Chang. And Caleb Cottom is the new pitcher.
Yeah,
there's Chang.
I'm keeping score, but I'm not putting in the changes.
Oh,
I leave that to you.
We'll get those as they come up.
Right. Yep.
So here's Caleb Cottom, and all your pregame research. What do you have on Caleb Cottom?
Well, 12 games with the Yankees last year and a .652 earned run average.
I see that.
How's that? Yeah, we were finishing up with Marty. What a class act.
I love the guy.
Marty Brennaman.
Love him.
Big North Carolina Tar Heel fan. Went there.
Yes, you did.
We didn't get a chance to ask him what he thinks is going to happen in the Final Four.
He seems very nervous about the Tar Heels, which he shouldn't be.
Of course, I think we know what he was going to say.
It's got to be a thrill as we watch Jonathan Villar bat to lead this inning off. Think about this. And you're a father. To go to work pretty much every day in this setting with your son.
Right.
His son Tom, great broadcaster in his own right. Probably headed for the Hall of Fame himself one day. And they both call Reds games. Tom does Reds television. Marty's on the radio. And those two are legends in the business. Always great to spend time with them.
Oh, Caleb.
I love talking baseball with that man.
Yeah.
Marty Brennaman.
Yeah, the broadcasters that we see over and over again in National League Central, I mean, great guys, all of them. But, you know, the Brennamans, terrific guys. You know, the Cowboy, you got Chris Welch. You got Jim over there. And it's a lot of fun to see these guys. I'm not going to see them until May, but always fun to go into Cincinnati and talk with those guys. They're very frank and candid about, you know, their Cincinnati Reds. They don't pull many punches.
No, Marty said he'd trade the whole team. There's a cue shot and a base hit for Villar. On his way to second, that'll be a double for Jonathan Villar right off the end of the bat. And a hustle double for him to start the 7th inning. You were telling stories earlier about, you know, going when I was a kid and a young broadcaster in the minor leagues, as you take a look at the double by Villar, but I'd go to the Astrodome all the time. Well, one of the guys that I went and visited once was Marty Brennaman. He invited me to come up, and I sat between Marty Brennaman and Joe Nuxhall for about 5 innings of a major league game. They were the terrific tandem there in Cincinnati for a long, long time. The late Joe Nuxhall, who was actually in the major leagues at the age of 15 as a pitcher.
Yep.
In the wartime era.
Now, did Marty Brennaman remember you when you did innings with him in the offseason?
You were the only one who didn't remember me.
Yeah.
Now, Marty was great. He used to write critiques out, and, you know, he was always very helpful to young broadcasters, or he would always answer questions, and I always respected him for that, and I do that now because of Marty.
Right.
And Marty always said, if you make it, you take care of people who are trying to get here, and I do that because of him. And
pay it forward, right?
Pay it forward. He was always great. Kirk Neuenhuis, second at bat for him.
And you know what? Because of what happened with you and I in Houston, I'm always nice to the people you drag around to the ballpark.
That's right. You feel bad now. You're paying it backwards.
Paying reparations, buying their dinner, that type of thing.
That's
you
right.
make me feel really bad when you tell me.
Well, and you deserve it.
I know. I own it.
Neuenhuis, a strikeout victim his last time up, which was his first at bat. I remember sitting between those guys at the Astrodome, and Marty was doing play-by-play in that particular inning. Joe Nuxhall was fast asleep with his head up against the wall.
I mean, in rapid eye movement.
He was out
I know.
cold.
Yeah.
And it was so funny It's probably the, whatever, 4th, 5th inning. I can't remember their rotation back then as Nieuwenhuis cuts and misses, and down he goes for the first out of the inning. But it was, they had the air condition cranked up in the Astrodome that day. It was in the middle of the summer, and it was cold in there, especially in the press box. And Marty's doing the play-by-play, and Joe Nuxhall's asleep with his head leaning up against the wall. And Marty's talking about how cool it is in the Astrodome. It's very cool today. Feels like an October game here in Texas. Joe Nuxhall raises his hand, which indicates to the engineer to open up his microphone. He raises his hand, and he leans up, and he said, "Put another fire on the put another log on the fire, Marty." And then he went right back to sleep.
You've had a lot of life-changing moments in the Astrodome, haven't you?
I have.
Some good, some bad.
Ballpark of my youth. That's Joe Nuxhall right there, just like that lady. Little half swing. Checked it. Back when I was going to the Astrodome, you could buy a $5 ticket for the upper deck and end up sitting right by the dugout. The 8th wonder of the world.
Yeah.
Still standing, by the way. Barely.
What?
What are they doing there? Rodeos, tractor pulls, those types of things?
I don't think they do anything anymore.
Nothing?
No, I think they're waiting to decide what to do. It's right next to the football stadium, Reliant Stadium.
Yeah.
Which dwarfs the Alamo Dome, the Astrodome, I should say. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and away. That's one of the beauties of working in the major leagues is if you get a rain delay and you're in the same press box as a Bob Uecker and a Marty Brennaman together, which happens every now and then, you're actually looking forward to that. Runner goes, VR on the pitch in the dirt, and he'll make it. Good heads-up base running. Gets to third with 1 out and a chance to score a run here.
And this is one of the great things about our job is, you know, the broadcast, you see Vince Scully in L.A. all the time. I remember before Harry Kalas passed away, after every game there at the Vet, they'd open up that press room. They'd have adult beverages and some snacks, and Harry Kalas would always be in there holding the court telling stories.
Now the post game with Harry Kalas. For Bob Uecker, it's the 4 o'clock bus ride when he's on the road trips. You'd pay good money for that comedy act, and we get it for free all the time, every day.
Yeah. And it's never the same.
There's a shot into right center. Yadiel Rivera continues to swing the bat well, and an RBI single brings in a run. The Brewers are on the board. Boy, this guy has been impressive.
And he's been playing a lot. He's been getting a lot of playing time, swinging the bat well. And you know, Craig Counsell is going to be very diligent to try and keep him, you know, in the groove, get him some playing time as the season starts. That was a nice piece of hitting, taking that one to right field. How many times you see a guy, I mean, how many times have we seen it in spring training? A guy red hot, playing every day, comes in Milwaukee, sits, and just can't find it again. Ends up getting sent down. You never see him again.
That's true.
I don't see that happening with Rivera because he's got that kind of swing.
Eric Young Jr., that's a ground ball, and it's going to sneak through. A base hit. Rivera makes a turn. He'll head to third. And the Brewers starting to chip away a little bit. A run is in. 4-1 Reds. Now first and third with just 1 out. Eric Young with a base hit in his first at-bat.
Yep, now big fly for Shane Peterson, and Brewers right back in it.
So Peterson will bat for the first time. came in to play right field last inning. And a chance to do some damage. Got Jonathan Lucroy on deck. Lucroy wants another at bat, it looks like. Which will give him 4 plate appearances for the day. And a big swing. Boy, he had a cut. A home run swing, didn't he?
Trying to tie it up. Shane's been getting a lot of playing time as well. Doesn't look like he's going to break camp with the Brewers. He's had a rough time of it at the plate this spring. He had some good games for Milwaukee last year. I mean, played some very good defense, came up with some hits. Probably start the year in AAA.
And that pickoff is thrown into the seats. That'll bring a run in. So an error on the pitcher caught him. And it's 4-2 Cincinnati as Rivera comes in to score.
Doesn't look like he's going to be running. E.Y. Jr. a base stealer, but he's not going to run. Able to get to second base.
Peterson in the foul territory. Ray Chang has it for out number 2. And you hear the crowd chanting for Lucroy. Luke. Kind of works well for Lucroy, because if he was ever in a scenario where he got booed, you wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
So it works out perfectly. Not that he would ever be booed. Four-two Reds, 2 outs now. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Lucroy's actually swung the bat well today. Nothing to show for it.
He's been swinging the bat well all spring.
He hit 2 drives to right, one deep right center that Bruce ran down at the warning track, and then the other was a line shot more toward the line that Bruce caught on the backhand side. An inside out swing by Lucroy that has always stood tall for him.
Always stays on the baseball. That's why he's got such a good eye at the plate. Doesn't start that bat too soon, but still able to be quick enough when he has the count in his favor to knock one out of the ballpark, pull it to left.
Crowd getting into it. 1-1 pitch is low. 2-1 on Lucroy. 0 for 2 with a walk today. This is the time of spring training, this portion of it, the final week, where you start to see guys stretch it out. They'll try to play 9 innings, get 4 at-bats, just to make sure they're ready for the grind of the regular season schedule. Called strike, just caught the edge. 2-2.
And just caught the edge right at the top of the zone, too.
Runner at second, Lucroy. Down he goes, a strikeout. So Cottom comes back, gets his man. And that will retire the side. The Brewers get a couple of runs, however, and it's 4-2 Cincinnati as we go to the 8th. Reds lead at 4-2 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. And a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Bill Schroeder and the Milwaukee Brewers. Sunny Tuesday afternoon, Phoenix, Arizona. Great to have you with us today. We're going to be doing it for real the next time we're on television. Monday, April 4th, Brewers Giants. Madison Bumgarner against Willie Peralta. New pitcher is Tyler Cravey, and the Brewers have a new infield configuration as well. We'll set up those changes for you. Cravey gets some work today in the 8th. He'll face Scott Schebler, who's been the hitting star for the Reds today. 3 hits, and he's hit the ball hard all 3 occasions.
And Tyler has a shot at making a ball club out of spring training. Ray Counsell talking about that. Not too many questions left on this Brewers roster. Cravey with an opportunity. You see his numbers last year. Kind of a tough luck starter a year ago. And Cravey making his 9th appearance down here in spring training, all out of the bullpen.
Looking like 2 pitchers for 1 spot. Cravey and Ariel Pena battling for that bullpen position. There's really just 1 position player left and 1 bullpen spot remaining at this point. So you got 3 outfielders for 2 spots. By the way, the new first baseman, Cooper, and then that's Elmore over at second.
What do you like now?
They move Rivera to short. He was in the game at second base. And Hernan Perez is at third base. That's your new infield. On the ground, Cooper's got it. Not exactly smooth, but gets the job done.
You don't get style points in the game. Smother it.
Garrett Cooper.
He's trying not to smile. Just in the game, does a nice job staying in front. Just can't get his feet under him and able to shovel it over to first base.
He's got a little panic setting in at that point.
Yeah.
When it's not actually in your glove, you're trying to impress. Coming over from minor league camp, you want to just, you want to just do a good job. You'll get to enjoy that big league per diem for a day.
That's what Luke always says when he plays first. I just knock him down, let him hit me somewhere, and I'll flip him to the pitcher.
That's right. I was very Lucroy-like with that approach. I agree. Smother and recover.
Yeah, you can do it at first base. You can't do that any other place.
Jordan Pacheco takes a ball.
Oh, Jordan.
Pacheco's been in there the whole way. 1 out of 3. All the Reds' runs are unearned today. Scored 3 in the 4th. There were 2 errors. And then there was another error in the 5th inning, allowing another run to come in. That's fair, just inside the line. That'll be extra bases for Pacheco, his 2nd hit.
Oh, Chuck.
That'll be a double. A 1-out double off of Cravey. Tucker Barnhart will bat. Another one of the starters, the switch hitting catcher. He'll be the backup to Mesoraco this year. He has walked. He lined out early, hit one sharply over to VR. Tomorrow we're on Brewers.com. We got a webcast for you. Brewers Rockies, and note that that game will start an hour earlier than normal. That is a high noon local start. So 2 p.m. in the Central Time Zone in Milwaukee.
Oh, Tucker.
That allows the Brewers to be able to get out of town and head to Houston. That's nice of the folks over there.
I thought they did it to allow us to beat traffic home. Maybe not.
There's no chance.
We'll be there.
You don't beat traffic here. It's constant.
You're coming to do the webcast tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Lane Grindle is going to join us, by the way. The new radio man for the Brewers. He's doing a great job.
I have not worked with Lane.
Well, tomorrow's your chance. Matter of fact, we may just let him do all 9 innings. That'll be fun. I love that ballpark over there. Salt River Fields, Talking Stick, home of the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Barnhart off the end of the bat, out to Eric Young Jr. with the glasses on, and he's got it for out number 2. Important innings here for Tyler Cravey. They all are. And the way the Brewers are announcing Major League roster spots, you can pretty well say that they really haven't made their mind up yet.
Right.
So every time out, seems like when they're making up their mind on a player, they're telling that player that he's made the team.
And which begs the question: what is the criteria that they're using to make those decisions as they go along? And you can understand perhaps with Cravey and Pena. Pena, the power pitcher; Cravey more, the finesse guy. Both of them can give you multiple innings.
I would imagine it's extremely difficult to not let your mind go there if you're a player.
Right, no doubt. What you were saying, we were talking about that when Kean Broxton was at the plate. They're trying to make the team, and you know that the Brewers are closely watching every at bat, everything they do.
Fly ball, left field, winds blowing. Eric Young Jr. will watch this off the wall. Takes a big bounce. This is going to bring in a run. And Ray Chang is into second with a double. Well, that ball just kept carrying into left field. So Cincinnati gets one of them back, now 5-2.
And it looked like it was going to hook foul, but the wind is blowing across from left to center. Pushed that ball back into fair territory, and Chang nearly hit that one out of the ballpark.
It's in the 3-hole. After a pacer.
Wind's been blowing. I mean, every day we've been to this ballpark, the wind's been blowing out. And it's blowing out pretty hard today.
Makes it tough on the pitchers. Jose Peraza, and that's foul. I was talking to a few scouts about it, too. It's really tough to scout players with the wind like this and evaluate. I think it's a lot easier for a coaching staff. And Counsell was saying before the game, there were a couple of names that popped up as we were talking about it. He goes, yeah, well, this happened. There was a wind-blown home run in this game. There was an error here. I mean, I think a coaching staff, as they're evaluating players every day, they have those things written down, and it's easier to decide that. It's a little harder for scouts, though, because you're trying to figure out in a small window. That one's hit well left. And Young is back. Does he have enough room? He reaches up, and he makes the catch. Eric Young Jr. fetches one into deep left center. And that'll end the inning. A run is in for the Reds. They lead 5-2. Brewers are coming to bat in the bottom of the 8th.
5-2 Reds as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And season after season, Brewers fans consistently stepped up to the plate and opened their hearts and their wallets to help those who can't do it all on their own. To find out how you can join Brewers Community Foundation in their mission of positively impacting the lives of children and their families in Greater Milwaukee and Wisconsin, go to brewers.com/BCF.
Spring training baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Our statistician, Zach Weber, keeping us organized up here in the booth as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Brewers Media Relations Department has never been better than it has been this spring.
You know, I would agree with you. This spring in particular.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. I agree.
Been on it.
I don't know what the difference is.
Me either.
But they've really been great. Hernan Perez will lead off. Cottom is back on the mound for the Reds. Brewers are down 3.
Ball, Caleb.
Well, Zach Weber and Ken Spindler doing a great job. Quickly 0-2 on Perez. His first at-bat. Got to be a disappointing day for Perez. He was informed he would not make the major league team out of spring training. However, I think if you're in his position, you know that if you go down to AAA and keep yourself ready, there's a good chance you're going to get a shot in the big leagues.
Yeah.
As Perez swings and misses, down he goes on strikes. There he is, Ken Spindler. It has been a Mike Vasallo free spring training.
Is that what it is?
You know, it might be what it is.
You know what? I didn't even think of that.
All the best to Mike Vasallo and his lovely wife.
Jackson, just born, what, last month, right?
That's the son. Pop up behind the plate. And Jake Elmore is out.
Actually, it was earlier this month.
Mike and Gina welcoming in Jackson.
Right.
And good baby time. Although Mike had little Jackson dressed up in a lot of Villanova attire all spring. Not sure that was in the plans for him. Yasmiel Pinto now for the Brewers. 2 outs in this 8th inning. We've had a lot of fun down here this spring. It's always a great time. In the air to left, routine for Duvall, and that will retire the side. 3 up and 3 down for Cottom. We are headed to the 9th. It's the Reds 5 and the Brewers 2. Spring training baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Yep, time to get the shirt on. There's only so much you can do with a farmer's tan. Columbia St. Mary's game summary. The Reds lead the Brewers 5-2. We're headed for the 9th inning. Willie Peralta started today. He pitched well. He did give up some runs, but they were all unearned. And 65 pitches. And the Reds scoring 4 of their 5 runs in the unearned variety. So to the 9th we go. Last game at Maryville this year. Brewers have one more game in Arizona tomorrow. That'll be over in Scottsdale. And that'll wrap up the Arizona portion of it. New pitcher for Milwaukee from minor league camp is Jim Miller. Rene Garcia, I beg your pardon, Yasmil Pinto will stay in the game to catch. And first ball swinging to Jesus into right. Peterson is there for out number 1. Good start for Jim Miller.
Yeah, there you see his numbers down in the minor leagues. Good numbers, an earned run average under 3. 44 appearances and a 4-3 record. I am efforting some more information as we speak.
Okay. We'll look forward to that.
I'll get some stuff on him.
Brewers minor league system has gone from bottom 3rd in baseball to, in some publications, as high as the top 5 in all of baseball. Made a lot of moves. Traded away 9 players. They've got 16 back in return, and high caliber prospects as well. So there's a lot to be excited about as far as the future goes. That is going to stay fair. Sebastian Elizalde is going to settle for a double in his first at-bat.
Yep, just inside that right field line. Jim Miller out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's slated to go to Colorado Springs. He was in Durham last year in the International League, where you saw those numbers under an average at 291. Out of Louisiana Monroe back in 2004, an 8th rounder for the Rockies.
Jay Bruce still in there. And a wave and a miss, an off-speed pitch.
Oh, Jay.
Bruce has been in there the whole game. He reached twice on errors. 3 errors today by Colin Walsh. The difference in this game as the Reds have scored 4 runs on those errors and a ground ball deep in the. Oh, it took a bad hop. And Bruce is going to reach again. That'll be an infield hit. I'm not sure. Even if he gloves it, he's going to have a.
Yeah, he was way back, wasn't he?
Just a strangely hit baseball.
That big shift. Looked like he hit something in the grass, stayed down on him. Little top spin. Watch this second hop right there. Stays down and not able to make the play. Elmore at least keeps the run from scoring.
Yeah, no chance he's going to be able to throw out Bruce. So the Reds have him at the corners now for Adam Duvall, who's played the entire game in left field. High fly ball, center field. This is not coming back. Wow. Over the batter's eye. My goodness. Adam Duvall with a 3-run bomb. And the Reds have opened it up here in the 9th inning. 8-2 now. One of the longest home runs we've seen here in Arizona.
Yeah, way over that batter's eye out there in center field. Wow. Wind or no wind. That was a blast. First pitch. Knocks it out of here. Check it out. Fastball up out over the plate, and Jim Miller could see the reaction. Knew that was out as soon as it made contact.
Well, the wind is blowing out, but it didn't matter. It was going to fly anyway, but how far? That thing, it's probably 405 distance-wise to the center field wall. Now that wall is at least 40 feet high.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott.
And he hit it over it. That is a bomb.
And Neuenhuis went back a couple of steps, realized, forget it, just watched it sail.
Oh, Scott.
What's the longest home run you ever hit, Rock? Do you remember? Was it college, or did you hit one?
They didn't really measure him in college and the minor leagues.
There's one they always say that hitters always remember who they hit their first home run off of and their longest home run. Is that true?
Well, in the big leagues, it was all Bill Wakeman.
A pop-up from Schebler. And Peterson's got it. Out number 2.
I was with the Angels at the time and hit a grand slam off of Wakeman.
This is your first home run?
No.
Oh, your longest home run, you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
And it was measured at 442. It was a foot longer than the one that Lance Parrish hit about a week before.
Is that right?
So my buddy Tim Mead, I think, was giving me a bit of a break. Hey, throw the guy a bone, right? Let him have the longest one. 1 foot longer than the one Parrish hit.
The big wheel, Lance Parrish.
Right.
Talk about a good man. So you had that going for you.
Yeah. I don't think Lance cared too much.
He had a number of 440-plus foot home runs in his career, right?
Right.
He would regularly hit him into the upper deck at Tiger Stadium. The big wheel. Who was your first big league homer off of?
It was against a guy named Al Williams, Minnesota Twins. It was at County Stadium. Home run to right field.
Oh, a little oppo.
Swung late.
High fly ball, deep left center. This is way back and gone. And Jordan Pacheco has homered. That's his 3rd of the spring. And it's 9-2 Cincinnati.
You remember your first home run?
Yep. Still waiting on it.
Let's hear it.
Still waiting.
You did some in college, didn't you?
Yeah. It's not even worth talking about, Rock. Doesn't count.
I'm interested.
Unless you're being paid.
I'm still atoning for blowing you off in Houston. I want you to tell the story.
Oh, great play. Elmore to his feet, throws him out. How about that? Heck of a play, Jake Elmore and the Blues. 9-2 Reds. They erupt for 4. Last call for the Brewers. Bottom of the 9th coming. The last half inning of baseball at Maryvale Baseball Park in Phoenix, Arizona.
Late in the game.
Brewers and Reds today. Brewers have one more game here in Phoenix tomorrow, actually over in Scottsdale, and then they'll head to Houston 2 games against the Astros, 1 against the Biloxi Shuckers. That'll be on Saturday. And then an off day Sunday, opening day Monday against the Giants. I want to thank our great crew here in Arizona all spring long as we look at the numbers on Jumbo Diaz. Marty Tarr, our producer and director. Fantastic work. And, some of our regular technicians that have been here, Karina Riggin, Alex Rincon, Randy Meter, Laura McEwen, Scott Santiago, and Jimmy Rincon. We appreciate all of the terrific work. Our great stage manager, Andrea Lamb. It's a home away from home.
Yeah, good work by all. It's been fun. Can't believe that spring training is just about over. Our next broadcast, opening day at Miller Park.
That's it. And we'll have our terrific Brewers television crew. Have a new producer to welcome to the Brewers family. Dan Keener has joined our group, and we're excited about him. Dan Keener and Brent Reeland will produce the games. Mark Vittorio is back to direct, along with Adam Bryant III, AB3.
Boy, Jumbo.
Garrett Cooper getting an at-bat. Coming up from minor league camp, facing a big league pitcher in Jumbo Diaz. Also thanks to Chris Summers and Dave Goggle, Diana Druckman as well. They've all helped us out here in Arizona. So we are appreciative. Great to be able to bring you all these spring training games, get a good look at the team. One ball, 2 strikes. And a foul backed into the net.
It's always nice when you're back in Milwaukee and, you know, it's weather's kind of iffy. You see the green grass, the crack of the bat. Kind of reminds you that good weather's on its way. It's going to be in the 40s on opening day.
Is that right? We don't mind, because it'll be...
That's good tailgating weather.
Perfect weather inside Miller Park, regardless. The most functional ballpark in America, I like to call it. You always know there's going to be a game, and you'll be comfortable inside there.
Yeah.
Day game for opening day, 1 o'clock start, and then a day game Wednesday, the 3rd game of that series with the Giants. Garrett Cooper. He's got a good-looking swing.
Yep, I'll be getting to Miller Park really early on Monday to make sure that I stake out my claim to the desk.
As will I.
You have a tendency to kind of expand your area a little bit.
Whoever gets there first. I'm planning on showing up about 5 a.m. actually.
I'm going to put up that tape again.
Tape is up, your half and my half. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. If you split the booth down the middle, there's the rock half, and then everybody else is on the other half. Me, the statistician, Mike Faulkner, the stage manager, Renee Hoffman. So it's really Rock's half, and then everybody else is.
You can do with your half whatever you want.
That's true.
Now, you were talking about maybe switching sides. Have you made that decision yet?
It's not my decision to make. No, not my decision to make.
Isn't that what you were talking about last year?
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Put me on the left, and
it just wouldn't feel right with you on the left, to be honest with you. Then you wouldn't be my right-hand man.
Right.
As Cooper draws the walk. That's a good at-bat. That's what you want to do.
Don't let him get too far, but don't let him get all the way back.
Plus, it'll take me a lot longer to get up those stairs and on my way to the set for the big money moment.
Yeah, the full complement of pre and post. Don't forget, there'll be an hour pregame show leading up to the opening day telecast. That's a noon start in Milwaukee. Craig Cashon and Jerry Augustine, Davey Nelson, Sophia Minard, The whole gang.
Yep.
All year. Telly Hughes. Kirk Neuenhuis batting for the 3rd time. A shot, base hit. Neuenhuis turns it around, and the Brewers with 2 on with nobody out.
Yeah, Jumbo Diaz can get it up there in the upper 90s. I'm not sure if he's throwing that hard today, but I mean, he's typically around 97 to 99 miles an hour in the regular season, and Neuenhuis able to get the bat head out on that fastball. So walk base hit for the Brewers here in the ninth.
They're only down 7, Rock. How many bloops in a blast is that going to require?
A lot. Yeah, but they've done it before. They've had a lot of big rallies in the 9th inning.
That's true. Yadiel Rivera, one of the hottest hitters in camp. Enjoy watching this guy play.
Smooth, makes it look easy, especially defensively.
Brewers have come back from 5-run deficits twice. They're down 7 in this one. I think the skipper is ready to change the venue.
Yeah.
It's a tough 6-7 weeks for the manager and the coaching staff. They put in some long hours. A lot of players to manage.
And some of the coaches get there as early as 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes don't leave until 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock sometimes, and have those long meetings. They probably had some long meetings over the last week. Regular season starts, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's a break. You get toward the end of a spring training scenario, those coaches are going slower and slower. Those arms are tired. There's a lot of batting practice to throw. A lot of players to pick up for BP. We're always available, though. Just haven't been asked.
Jumbo.
Pick up a few groups. You still got it in you?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you used to throw batting practice. I remember everything was going great with you throwing BP until you drilled Mike Cameron. That pretty much ended that.
No. I did drill him, but what really bothered me? Didn't even hardly feel it. Yeah, that was up on the top field over there.
Yeah, they didn't let you on the show field.
Throwing BP. Counts used to love to have me throw batting practice to him when he was playing.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
That's not
Matter of fact, he would request me.
Oh, really?
In early BP.
I got a different story.
On the road.
No, you do throw a nice BP, and I think that's part of being a catcher.
Right, over the top.
It's that nice four-seamer that players like. Council could hit anything. He was a joy to throw batting practice to. I threw him BP one off-season 1 year. He never let anything go by.
That's the thing. I mean, some of these guys, they got to be right down the middle.
He made you feel good. There were never any baseballs down in the back behind the batter's box. Like, oh, wow, I must have really good command today.
Yeah.
He just hit everything.
That's the way Robin was. Robin Yount.
Oh, is that right?
Do not pass go.
Huh. Well, who had the... I bet Paul Molitor took a lot of pitches, huh? No?
No, I mean, it was a different game back then. You didn't even take pitches in BP.
Everybody's hacking.
You take too many pitches in batting practice, Frank Howard will wear you out. What are you doing?
We only have 50 minutes out here. Full count to Rivera. Long at bat. And a fly ball to right. Tough sun field. Bruce has got it. And Rivera retired. Advancing over to third base is Cooper. And it's first and third.
Just right behind them. Right behind them.
Eric Young Jr. Hoping he'd make a team, the big league team this year. Not to start the season. He certainly has a chance throughout the course of the regular season. Not going to be on the Major League roster. And he's swinging away at the first pitch. A pop-up in the infield. And that'll be out number 2. A lot of these Reds are going all 9 innings today.
Yeah. Go 9 innings, get the next day off. It's kind of the way it goes in spring training.
Well, spring training camp coming to an end for first-year general manager David Stearns as well. And there's David with his assistant general manager, Matt Arnold. And those are the two that are putting the pieces together, hopefully for a very successful franchise for many years to come. David Stearns and Matt Arnold. Matt coming to the Brewers from the Tampa Bay Rays organization.
They loaded the organization up with some good young talent. Develop that talent, get it to the major leagues.
Speaking of guys who are putting in long hours, by the way, those two, a lot of decisions to make as well.
Right. Athletic trainers, clubhouse staff.
Shane Peterson, last hope for the Brew Crew.
Hey, think about that training staff for the Brewers. They had 59 guys in spring training to start. Can you imagine that club, that training room? Trying to work your way through all those guys. Yep.
They're easy to spot with the yellow shirts this year. 3-0, Peterson takes a strike. You'll be able to hear those games in Houston, by the way, on the Brewers radio network. Lane Grindle and Jeff Levering will be there for that. Kent Sommerfeld, of course. That is a night game on the 31st, a day game on the 1st, and then the Brewers go to Biloxi. And you can hear the game in Biloxi as well. Levering and Grindle will have the webcast Saturday from the AA venue.
Nice ballpark down there.
Ground ball, fair ball, race to the bag. Jumbo wins it, and that's the ball game. And that is the 2016 Maryvale portion of the Cactus League schedule. Partner, it's been great working with you. We put in a lot of hours ourselves here at spring training.
Yeah, good to have you back, buddy. We'll see you on opening day. Can't wait. I think everybody is on the same page here. Players, fans, I think everybody's ready for games to mean something, and that all starts Monday.
The lid lifter against the San Francisco Giants, Willie Peralta, Madison Bumgarner, Monday, April 4th. Hope you'll be there. Thanks to all of our great crew. Marty Tarr, our producer and director. For Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson saying so long until Monday, opening day. You've been watching the Brewers on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Reds win the finale today, 9-2.